gaming group roleplay event playing 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons in our Blackest Heart campaign. Roleplay event playing. So with us today, I've got 5 of my players. One of them is running a little bit behind and hopefully should be showing up shortly. Another one of my players, unfortunately, has had to leave the campaign due to personal reasons. And our bard, as always, has not shown up because she is currently in the middle of moving and won't be with us for 2 to 3 more sessions, but then she'll be joining our game. When we last left off, the party members had been attending the Lightrise Festival in Westshore, a relatively decent-sized town that is out very, very close to the wildlands. It is pretty remote and only has a few small villages anywhere nearby it. Other than that, it is completely surrounded by wilderness. Its really only way to get there was by boat or a long overland travel. But the festival was so well renowned that people would come from all over just to enjoy the Lightrise Festival in Westshore. Our party members were there for various reasons. Many of them there just to see the sights, others there with purpose. But as the day wore on, and festivities were had, champions were made, and others suffered some losses, things began to wind down at the festival with a final celebration of those who had won the day when disaster struck. Portals opened, demons poured forth, and chaos ensued. Our heroes managed to escape from the danger with many of the people from the village and find their way to the church. That is where we leave them. So we will be picking up from there when we begin our game in just a moment. Alright everyone, so you find yourself inside the church in Westshore. This church is run by someone that I can see knows fairly well, Father Dimspoon, a cleric of Pelor. Now unfortunately, due to the events that transpired over the course of the day and into the evening, only about a fourth of the residents of Westshore have managed to find refuge within the church. That includes yourselves. Father Dimspoon has made it, fortunately, as well as the mayor, his captain of the guard, a handful of other guards, and the remaining populace is civilians, laborers, workforce, and all are very, very haggard from their ordeals in the day. As you look around, one thing you see is that most of them have minor injuries. The demons didn't leave too many wounded around to survive. However, there is one that has suffered some very severe wounds. One that actually helped you in the fight. A relatively young bard. That bard is currently laying down in one of the pews and being attended by Father Dimspoon. It is the morning, the sun has just come up, and as rough as the sleep was last night, you did manage to get a full night's sleep. So for your D&D Beyond sheets, if you haven't already, you can go ahead and select long rest, and then click again to say yes, continue, because it likes to do that kind of Windows thing where, it asks you multiple times if you're really sure. So you can go ahead and do that because you are fully rested up. All your hit points should be restored, and all your abilities and spells should also be restored to you. Now, as you wake up, some things you notice about you, besides the severely injured bard and the people crammed into this church, you notice the captain of the guard, who looks extremely rough. His once nice, clean, shiny armor now has some gouges in it, dents. It is covered in dirt, blood, and gore, as is his sword. And he looks like he has not had sleep all night. Looking around more, it doesn't look like any of the guards that you can see have had much sleep either. It looks like they've been involved in some skirmishes. Looking around the rest of the church, other than the despair that is palpable in the air coming off of the people, you actually see you're in a fairly grand structure. And it's actually quite beautiful. It's vaulted ceilings, light coming through stained glass windows, beautiful stonework, and it is definitely a sturdy building. You can hear from outside what sounds like rain has started to fall, and you can definitely see through the windows that it's still overcast some, like it was on yesterday during the day of the festival. As you are waking up, the mayor comes over to you, I can see, and says, I can see I have some bad news. Obviously everything that happened itself is bad news, but the really bad news is that we have lost a large portion of the town guard and a huge portion of the town, including your house and your shop. There's not much left. And I hate to ask this of you, but I have seen you and these others here before you, as he indicates Zoran, Dalian, Oak, and Rhea, as well as Shaxus, sitting down in the pews, have stepped up and helped the town. This is kind of a big time of need for us. Would you be willing to help us out? We have lost so many guards, and we've sent out patrols through the night to try to clear out the town as much as we could. And we think it's clear, but now we are so vulnerable from anything out in the wilds coming in. Would you be willing to help bolster our guards for the time being until we can make sure that everything is safe? And he turns to the rest of you and addresses you directly and says, and you as well. You've all shown that you have some skill in battle, and we desperately need that. I do not offer this, lightly. And although we have lost much, I know I'm asking a lot of you and would be more than willing to compensate you for your efforts in helping us out.
Do we get access to the armory?
What's left of it? There isn't much.
What about the treasury?
I see you aren't one to mince words. We have a ton of damage to the town. Most of our funds will need to go to restoring the town itself.
The
But
town isn't what I'm concerned about. What I'm concerned about is if I get paid for helping you people.
that you will. And it will be fair. But I cannot afford to, give you a retirement fund off of a small amount of help. If you are unwilling to work for what we can offer, that is understandable. You need not risk your life for us any more than you already have.
Then I want free reign to information to anyone I speak to.
You are a
If
peculiar
they
one.
if they are willing to speak to you, by all means, you may speak to them, ask what you wish, but I will hold no one under any obligation to tell you things that they hold private.
That I can do myself.
As for the rest of you, would you be willing to help us out in our time of need?
Oak kind of straightens up a bit. He says, like, I know the land around here. I can help with that. I can help see if there's anything else crawling around in the woods.
As Oak straightens up, the mayor takes his first real look at you. Kind of steps back a little bit. You tower over him, and you do have quite an intimidating appearance. He seems a little bit kind of put off by it. Not so much in a
Oak immediately notices that
yes.
he's kind of freaked people out, and he immediately goes crouching down, and he's just like, oh, sorry.
Which, strangely enough, actually puts the mayor a little more at ease, seeing you kind of a little more subservient in that manner to his position. But he says, well, that would help greatly. And you, and he looks to Zoran.
Oh yeah, I'm in. I need some padding in my purse.
And that we can do. We can do that for you. And you, young lady, looking at Rhea.
You're actually gonna have me in the guard? I thought I was too young. I'm gonna be the youngest guard person as I tilt my hat up.
Well, I see that you are the dagger champion, so you obviously have some skills. And right now we are limited. I would not ask unless it was absolutely necessary.
I am pretty skilled with the dagger. Yeah, that's true.
Boy, the standards have fallen.
Hey,
At this point, Dalian's just sitting in the corner questioning all of her choices as to why she came here.
So, as he looks to each of you and gets the nod from each of you that you'd be willing, he seems to relax a little bit, and he turns to his captain of the guard, Captain Anmar, who obviously looks like he needs a break. But the captain straightens up and he says, take them out when they are ready. Allow them time to prepare whatever they need to. But take them out and please continue to search the city to make sure that all of these creatures have finally left, so that we can get people back out and start rebuilding and get the walls up at least so we can protect what's left of the town.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
To the guard.
Okay.
Are any of you aware of any kind of, high-level sorcerers and or wizards that were in your town? Not for the festival, but actually sticking around. Might have known the area.
Actually, that's very unlikely. Well, I wouldn't say unlikely, but you never know what wizards do, but I have not really seen any around here in a long time, nor have I had any word of such a thing.
When was the last time you heard or saw one?
That would
Because
be years
portals
ago.
like that, letting monsters through, aren't just a, hey, I'm just going to do this spell on a whim one day. This was planned. Clearly somebody had the power to do it.
Well, I do not deny that. Something powerful happened here.
Your camera.
Yep. I do not deny that. Something powerful definitely happened here.
Jason.
But I do not know what is going on and how this could be. Can you not hear me?
No, your camera.
It came back. Maybe not on VC, but it came back.
Okay.
Because all I'm seeing is like your
Yeah.
right eyeball.
Same.
It's good on stream though.
It's fine on the stream.
Fuck, what was I saying?
A little better?
Little.
Alright. It's small, but at least you can see it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as I was saying, last I saw of something like that, I mean, I don't doubt you that it had to be something powerful, but last I've seen of any wizards was probably 10, 15 years ago, back in Asteron.
Has the town been remodeled in any way since then? Like buildings shifted, shops moved, areas bigger, condensed?
It's changing all the time. People move here. Those that can tough out the conditions that we deal with on a daily basis. Those that wanted a little more adventure. Those that wish to seek out their own fortune in the wildlands. However, those usually don't stay long. But people do come out and people do move away. Houses get built, torn down, rebuilt. It's not uncommon here. But as for anything major, not really.
Anybody leave the town with sour thoughts or vendettas that would have stuck out?
There was one. Not a very fortunate situation. A young man I personally dealt with, Tobias Ulkreen. He actually, I caught him. He had 4 women locked in the basement of his house. Young women, in their late teens. He was apparently trying to run a slaving operation through our town. I caught wind of it thanks to some intel my guards were hearing whispers of here and there. Found out what was going on, arrested him, threw him in jail to await trial. And somehow that bastard escaped. Last I had heard, he had made his way to the west.
Escaped via broken chains or just vanished?
No, actually, the shackles on his wrists seemed like they had been tampered with. Not a key, but a tool. I can only guess that he must have had the skill to pick locks of some type, because we thought we had searched him thoroughly, but he must have found something he could have used, or had it hidden very well on his person. But he managed to escape, and all that I can say is that last I heard, he had headed west, possibly to Asteron, possibly parts further. but he's not around here anymore, which at least
Oak-
that has been taken care of.
Can Oak make an intelligence check to see if he remembers that name?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And while that's going on, can I ask if they had any brothers or sisters that disappeared about the same time?
Brothers or sisters? Oh my gosh, Oak is a genius.
I know.
Okay, is it?
All right. Let me go to Oak first, and I'll come right
Okay.
back to you. Yes, you absolutely remember that name. At least the last name. You don't remember ever hearing the name Tobias.
Yeah.
You remember Fen.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, you've heard that last name before, Ulkreen.
Okay.
And Zoran. You
I know that last name too well.
Yeah. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. And the captain looks to you and says, he never had anyone with him here. But he may have had family in other parts. I don't know of.
Maybe not family, but possibly somebody he was working with. Slavers don't work together. Slavers don't work
No.
alone.
No. Actually, now that you mention it, there was another man that hung around with him quite a lot. I never caught his last name, personally, but his first name was Fen.
Oak gasps dramatically.
Someone scared the giant.
And I just kind of go from looking around to like, with the look of, oh really now, looking at the guard and the mayor.
Judging by your gasp, I take it you know the slaver.
No, I know Fen, not the slaver.
I also know Fen, and I have some old scores to settle with that rat bastard.
He actually told me to come over here because the land was nice and nice to hunt and stuff.
Well, that
You realize how bad it looks upon the two of you to have known somebody that was friends with a slaver, right?
I was just an acquaintance with that. I didn't really know him. He just gave me advice to just head out over here.
He was, I'm a bounty hunter, and he was my mark.
You and I might get along then, and I might help you with that one.
Now, as you are discussing these things and speaking to the captain of the guard and to the mayor, Father Jim Spoon runs up to you, I can see, and says, yes, I can see. I was hoping that, well, once you are done with helping out with the mayor's little issues of the town, if you might be able to, I don't know, escort me and this young man who's been injured up to Asteron. I cannot do any more for him. I'm at the limits of my abilities and what Pelor has granted me, just to keep him alive. I fear he's going to get a nasty infection, and if we cannot get him the help he needs, I fear what will happen. I do know that the Church of Pelor in Asteron has powerful enough and devoted enough clerics that they would be able to help him.
Is Oak overhearing this conversation?
So is Dalian.
Is he?
Yes. You guys are close enough. You could easily hear it. He's not being quiet.
Okay, because since Oak can hear it, he's gonna be like, "Oh, hey, Astron is where Fen is stopping by." Because he's making a stop in Astron, and then he's about a month. And he just doesn't really care. He just doesn't care that.
Okay.
He's just trying to be helpful.
All right.
Everyone seems to be looking for him.
It sounds like it.
I just want to kill a slaver.
Yes, I can definitely believe that from your character. So, Father Dimspoon, as he said, he asked your help and wants to know if that is something that you would be willing to take on, uh, and
Question.
after helping out the town.
Question. Where is the injury on the person?
The young bard has it looks like deep claw marks into through part of their stomach and their side on their right hand
Oh,
side. They are
you can't
deep.
amputate that. Never mind.
Yeah, you can't amputate that. They are very deep. The bleeding has been halted for the most part, thanks to Father Dimspoon. Uh, however, he's got bandages wrapped around it, and the wounds are still seeping, and the bard is completely out.
Have you
Passed
tried
out
to
from the
burn
pain.
the wound shut?
Father Dimspoon looks at you and says, "That would not be good in his condition. He would go into shock and die."
I have a question.
It's better than bleeding to death.
Have I seen these wounds before?
No, no, you haven't. These,
Okay.
however, I will give you an, go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
Sure, I didn't put that on my bar.
That's all right.
Uh,
Oh, that'll definitely do. You remember clearly that you were actually running in that direction and saw the bard take a nasty swipe from the claws of one of those fiendish creatures yesterday, and actually ended up, trying to limp along behind you to catch up to you guys. And if it hadn't been for you guys intervening, and for the creature, especially when after Rhea had hit that one a couple times with some Eldritch Blasts, uh, discouraged it enough to seek easier targets that were running around, that it had left alone the bard, who then managed to hobble after you guys and make it to the church. But that was definitely a strike caused by one of those fiendish creatures.
and it wasn't the same fiendish creature that I dealt with?
No, not at all.
Okay. All right.
Will I be able to heal them with cure wounds?
Uh, you could try.
I'm gonna try.
All right, go ahead.
I'm gonna be like, step back. I got this. And then I'm gonna cast cure
Okay.
wounds.
All right. As the magic flows from your fingertips and into this young bard, you feel at the kind of more than see, you feel the edges of the wounds tightening up just a little bit as if they are attempting to close. But something is keeping them open. Some force. Something that is fighting against the magic. You managed to make a small amount of progress, but it is so much less than you would have thought.
Can I ask the head priest dude if he recognized the giant demon that had appeared in the town?
Oh, that thing. Honestly, I cannot say that I do. That was not something that I ever want to see again. Yes, well,
If you want to see it again, then there's clearly an issue. But I was
yes,
more so
yes,
wondering
well.
if you knew the name of it.
No, I do not know what that beast was. I'm glad it's not here. I do know that, well, creatures such as that, were here yesterday, cannot enter this church, cannot step on its grounds, as they have been hallowed by the high priest himself from Asteron.
That doesn't help me. Does the church have an old library? Records, access to tomes, different information that might have been collected over the years?
Honestly, I, I don't really keep many records. um,
So
you,
you're a church that was essentially blessed to keep people safe, and you don't even know what it
yes.
was blessed with, how, or when.
Oh no, I know exactly what it was blessed with, how and when. The records that I do have are all up here.
That doesn't help any of us.
No, I'm sorry, but any questions you have, if there is an answer, I do have it. It's just not written down. Um,
Could you write it down? Any
I
information you have about any demons, possible attacks in the past, different runes you use to protect the church, as well as anything that could be portable or carried, so that way as we're doing all your little hunting and saving, we don't get attacked.
um hmm. Well, honestly, I've used up most of my resources to help this young man and those in the church over the course of the night, and you realize looking at him, he obviously has not slept the entire time. He has definitely been busy at work. Uh, but he says, but just wait one moment. And he runs off towards the back of the church. As he does that, Captain Anmar says, "We're about to get ready to go. Um, if you are indeed going to help us, uh, we would be ready to leave as soon as you are, and we would like to make that quick. The sooner we can make sure that the town is safe and all these creatures are gone and we can start getting work put back on building up the walls, the safer it will be for everyone."
Okay, riddle me this, Captain. If we go out there with no form of protection or way to ward off the monsters while we're trying to see if there's any survivors, what's your plan if we all get killed?
That is your choice if you wish to take the job or not. We are offering you money to help, but we would not even ask if we weren't short on guards. We have lost so many, but this town is no stranger to a fight, and if you will not help, we will carry on ourselves and do our best.
Oak
Clearly what
steps
I said
up
went in one
and
ear, not the other.
to the captain. Instead of money, can I get free food instead?
At
So,
least that one had the right idea.
so Oak asks for payment in food.
Yeah.
He kind of looks at you, and you notice he just does not seem intimidated by you. He looks straight in your eyes and just says,
Oh,
with a smile, "We'll get you food, but we'll also get you
yay!
some money for
And
your trouble."
Oak just gives him this really big toothy grin and just shows off all his pointy teeth.
Stallion would just pat Oak's arms like, you're literally a puppy. At least you'll be easy to handle.
Oh, if Oak had a tail, it would be wagging.
Excuse me. So, as the captain is trying to gather everyone together to leave and to go out, Father Dimspoon comes back, and he is carrying in his arms 6 bottles, little glass bottles, about the size of maybe a small apple, within a little glass stem and a stopper in the top of each. And he says, "This is all we have, but I will give these to you if you are going to brave the dangers outside and help us to secure the town."
What are they?
"Oh, this heals wounds."
Ooh, I'll take one.
Dalian, taking a split second to actually look around the church quickly enough, hands the bottle back to the priest and tells him to use it on the wounded. If I die out there because I was stupid enough to get hit, that's my own fault.
I'm totally taking one now.
Okay. He gives one to Rhea. Anyone
I'll
else?
take one as well.
All right. Zoran, you get one. He offers one to Oak.
Oak takes it and just looks at it and gives it a sniff and just puts it in his bag.
Okay. It actually smells a little bit like a kind of a spice. There's like a little spicy scent to it. Not like a heat spice, but like more like a kind of a cinnamon to it.
Pumpkin spice latte.
And he walks over to I can see and offers him one and says, "My friend, I do not envy you if you are going out there. But please, you must take this if you do."
Well, I'm not much of a fighter, but I hope some of my contraptions would help. I'm going to take what he gives me, and I'm going to sit in a corner for about 10 minutes and cast Identify.
Okay. And Dalian, you handed yours back, you said?
And told him to use it on the wounded.
Okay.
She's able-bodied enough, and she gets hit, that's her own fault.
Okay. So he says, "Well, why, thank you." And he takes that and he hands it off to what looks to be a scrawny young man who is also dressed in the robes of kind of an underling to the church, more of an altar boy or initiate to the Church of Pelor. And he says, "Yes, Artie, please, see if you can find who needs this most, and do not worry about the young bard. We are doing everything we can. This will not help him."
I do have,
Hold on one
right
sec.
before we leave, I have a request for the priest.
Okay, 1 second though. I can see as you go through the ritual of this identify spell, and you begin concentrating on this liquid that's in there. You realize that this is a healing potion. It is designed to basically help recover from wounds that have been taken during battle. And you've seen these before. You just never thought you'd actually have one in your hands, but now you do.
Oak is still smelling his.
All right.
He likes the way it smells.
All right. Well, it does smell fairly good, actually. It's a nice, just kind of a light cinnamon scent to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, Dalian, you were saying.
She would go over to the priest and ask him, while we're gone trying to clear out the town, if you can find any records, look them over, that, or use any knowledge you have, try to identify the wounds, and if we can bring back any pieces, would you be able to try and identify any of the monster's limbs or what they might be?
Well, yes, yes, absolutely. I will do what I can. Any
And
assistance?
if you have any underlings or other priests from different areas, talk to them, ask them as well. They might have different knowledge from different areas they've been in.
True. Once Artie is done, I will have him assist me. But right now, I want him to focus on those who are wounded. But yes, I will do my best to help.
And with that, I just go back over to the captain.
Okay. Looking up, you guys see that the captain is anxiously standing by the door with about 4 other guards, looking your way, just waiting, ready to head out into the town.
I'm gonna like run over them and be like, I'm all ready to go.
All right. He looks down at you, gives you a little smile, and says, "Just stay behind me, young miss. And keep those daggers handy."
You're going to strap up this heavy-looking backpack and all these other satchels and pouches and fanny packs, and basically just a large mesh of leather straps going around his shoulders and belly.
All right. So the rest of you see what almost looks like a walking workshop as this gnome that you have just recently kind of been thrown into a dangerous situation with starts strapping on and tying down all of these really strange looking contraptions. Things that most of you, if not all, have never seen before.
Can I poke one of them?
No.
So the captain looks at you all and says, "Ready? Here we go."
Yeah.
And he throws the door open. And him and the 4 guards that are with him charge out.
Oak cracks his neck and runs after them.
Okay.
Just gives a sigh, pulls out her daggers, and walks.
All right.
I'll pull out my daggers as well and walk.
All right.
And I'll grab my staff and just keep on after the group.
All right.
Trudging with all the weight and short, stubby legs to begin with, I'll take up the rear.
Okay.
Trotting along, slowly but steadily.
All right. So you're kind of a little bit of a wobbly, bouncy walk with all this weight coming out. And as you guys get outside, okay, there we go. As you guys get outside, you can see all around you that there are buildings standing, but there are some that have obviously burnt to the ground over the course of the night. There are some that have large portions of them just almost as if it was just grabbed and ripped away, or knocked away somehow by a great force. You see bodies lying pretty much everywhere. Some are children. Some are adults.
Oak, the happy expression on Oak's face is just dropped. It's straight-faced, he straightens up, he's all business, and he grips his axe tighter, and he just keeps following the guards.
As you're seeing all this, the captain looks to 2 of the guards, taps one on the shoulder, gets the other's attention, and points off in one direction, and they take off going that way. He taps the other 2 guards, points off in the other direction. They take off going that way. And he looks back at you guys and says, "Follow me. We will take the main path."
Are you sure it's a good idea to have them go into a group of 2 and the rest of us go into a group of 6?
Yes, they are very capable. And while we do not have many guards left, we have sent patrols out throughout the entire night. As I had mentioned before, we think we have cleared out all of these creatures.
But how many of those patrols came back?
Not many, but enough to be able to report that the city is, as far as we can tell, cleared. The creatures were either killed or run off, or they took off on their own.
And how many of those that came back were whole?
Honestly, most of them that did make it back were intact. Maybe not so much in their minds from the horrors they had seen. But those that didn't make it, there's not much left of them. Those that did were fortunate enough to have minimal contact.
Wait, you consider these horrors?
You don't.
No, this was common for my people.
No,
I feel very sorry for your people that you've had to deal with that.
And
But
I'll
this
say
is
I've
first.
seen a lot worse than this. This is just a Tuesday for me.
Oh, yeah, well, normal people like me haven't seen this type of shit. I'm scared out of my fucking mind.
So why did you come?
Because I got nothing else here. My fucking house and workshop destroyed. My only two friends are the ones in that church.
I guess it's better to die alone than to die a coward.
I'm not alone. I got you idiots.
Both on the head.
Hey, I'm not an idiot.
You sure?
Yes.
Are you positive though?
Yep.
About 2-3 minutes into your trek down the main thoroughfare, eyes peeled looking for any signs of danger. One of the patrols that had been out during the night comes by and speaks to Captain Anmar in hushed tones. You can see him leaning over and whispering into his ear. And Captain Anmar nods and says, "Very well. Go reinforce the eastern wall and make sure that reconstruction efforts are as best as you can being put underway. We'll go check it out." Turns back to you guys and says, "They found something."
Of course they did.
They always do.
He leads you back between several buildings as you're kind of twisting and turning through for a ways off of the main road that goes through town. And as you go past two buildings that are actually standing and come out from between them, before you see a large hole in the ground. It looks like something exploded up and out through the hole. Something large.
I
And
think we figured out where the giant demon came from.
do you say that out loud? Captain looks back at you and says, "You may very well be right."
Here's an idea. Why don't we tie a rope around the kid and toss her down the hole and see if she sees anything?
No,
Lord, extra,
no,
don't you do
no. I like edge away from the group.
Oak goes up to the edge of the hole and just looks down to see how far he can see.
It
I'll
goes
be
down.
down as well, seeing as I can see better in dark areas.
Well, he's got dark vision.
Hey,
You both can see it is overcast right now, but there is enough light that you wouldn't even need dark vision at this point. But as you look down, you can see that the hole itself only goes down about maybe 40 feet before it hits the bottom. And it seems like it's opening up. It's into like a... As you look down, it looks like it's not just like a hole like a well, where you can see the sides all the way to the bottom. It looks like at the bottom, it opens up some.
there's only about
Is it
40 feet. We can still toss the kid.
Is it straight down or is it like angled like a ramp?
No, it appears to be pretty much straight down, but it is about, if I didn't say it before, about 20 foot, 30 foot diameter hole.
Well, since the kid won't go, anybody have a long enough rope?
Well, they got about 50 foot.
Same here.
How strong is it?
It's rope. If you're going down, it's not my concern, is it?
Technically, it should be, seeing as I'm going to be the one seeing what's even down there.
Oh, you
Do
can
you
shout.
want to go alone?
I would rather you be holding the end of the rope, seeing as you look the biggest and the strongest to pull me back up.
Oak nods thoughtfully at that. He's like, that makes sense.
Besides, I'm an elf. I practically weigh nothing.
Is that what you guys plan on doing then?
I give Oak my rope so she can tie a knot,
Okay.
and if you need the full 100 foot.
I want to take all the different ropes together and braid them to make it stronger.
Okay. Braiding that much rope is going to take you a little bit of time.
I'll hold one end.
Okay, so you guys are basically sitting there for it's probably a good, I'm going to say half an hour, trying to braid these ropes together to make sure that they're nice and tight together and that it's going to be, nice and strong. And while you're doing so, the captain is looking down the hole, looking about, kind of keeping his eyes wary for anything showing up.
During the course of the time of me braiding, I want to ask the captain questions.
By all means, ask away.
So, I'm going to be blunt with the captain
Mhm.
and tell him exactly why I'm here, which is somebody hired me to kill him. But after talking to the townspeople and seeing what type of man you actually are, I'm a bit curious as to why this hit was put on you in the first place.
Well, who put a hit on me?
A pair of brothers claiming you slept with his wife and ruined his life.
Nice.
Sounds like a captain.
Oh, Lord. Again, you bring up the All-Creen boy.
Oh,
Hey,
so
I
you
know
know
that
who
one.
I'm talking about.
Yes. After finding out about his activities and arresting him, I will have to admit that one of the young women who was there, well, she is my wife now.
Wait, so you're telling me one of the slave girls you saved, you slept with, married?
She was
And
21 years old.
I still
Yeah.
stand by slave girl.
And at the time, I was 25.
How long ago was this?
About 10 years.
And they're just now putting a hit on you?
Yeah.
Maybe you're the
I'm
first one to
guessing.
get close enough.
Some people really can't hold a grudge.
They were speaking as if this happened recently.
That's all I can tell you. This is what happened.
This is why I hate Shemlin. All of you get things confused so easily and then hold grudges to a point where it no longer matters.
Oak is counting on his fingers.
Are there any buildings nearby where I could draw my patron symbol?
Yeah. There are the two that you guys walked between before coming upon this hole in the ground. They're only about 5-10 feet behind you. They are standing. There's a little bit of damage to them, but for the most part, they're still there. But as you look around, you see it looks like the path of destruction from this hole actually heads out away from it to if as you come through the between the two houses, it would be to your right, which is actually towards the east. And so it looks like whatever created this hole came out of it and was moving east through the streets there and continued on in that direction.
I'm just gonna throw my patron symbol up, just all giant, on both buildings.
Okay. Who is your patron again, if I might ask, because I cannot remember.
Alona?
So
Yes,
I want to
Alona.
make
Okay.
it
Yep.
clear to all of you who might be holding the rope to pull me back up. If you feel even the slightest unintentional tug, as in not just me climbing down, pull me back up.
Okay.
So, are you
Oak
heading
takes your
down?
words very seriously.
So are you heading down into
I
the
cut
hole?
the rope with this one.
Okay.
But I will tie the rope around my waist tightly enough to make sure it won't just come loose. or I won't slide out of it.
Okay. All right.
And I'm debating between just straight on diving, or if I should just
So you're gonna either do the
out.
Mission Impossible, or
Do that.
don't do that. I'll
That's
just
not
climb
Oak.
down then.
That's not Oak
Hey,
speaking.
bef-
That's just me.
Before you go down, can I sit on your shoulders and then I can shoot anything that comes and I pull out my short bow?
I am not holding a child on my shoulders going to a pit of death.
But I can.
No.
I can
I
shoot.
offered to let you go down yourself, and you said no.
I'm not going alone. That shit is scary.
Hence why you're not going to begin with. I don't want you screaming and wiggling on my shoulders.
Wasn't gonna do that.
all right. So do you head down?
Yep, I'll climb down.
All right. Go ahead and give me an athletics check with advantage.
I don't know how to do that one.
Okay. It should be 1d20 plus. You aren't proficient in athletics, so it's just going to be 1d20 plus your strength modifier,
Do you want to just toast tonight, or do you want your foot?
Which is a 1.
which is a 1. So 1d20 plus 1 twice. Take the highest roll.
Oh, I did that wrong. My bad.
That's okay.
I forgot I had to put roll.
Yep. /R. And then space 1d20 plus 1. And then do that twice. Okay, so there's the first roll. And much better. Okay.
I don't want to die.
You do just fine, thanks to the rope and oak being a nice secure anchor for you at the top. It's actually not that difficult of a climb. You managed to make it down into what looks to be a relatively large natural cavern. And with your dark vision, what you can see is off to your right, there looks to be a tunnel leading off of it that looks pretty wide. And then straight ahead of you, on the far side of the cavern, which is getting close to the limits of your dark vision in distance, you see what kind of the edges of what looks to be another tunnel opening. This one a little smaller, more about the size of an average person. Big enough that, like a regular doorway. Big enough you could walk through without a problem. Even Oak could technically walk through it without much of a problem. But other than that, that's all you see down here.
Can I pull one of my torches out of my pouch and try to throw it towards the cave opening to see how see farther into the
Sure.
walkway?
Which cave opening do you want? The larger one to your right, or the more human-sized one ahead of you about 60 feet?
The larger one. Actually, I'll throw one towards both.
Okay.
I got 10 torches.
Okay. So takes you a minute or two. You pull your torches out, light them, and you throw them. And you get a little bit more light. And you can see it looks like the larger tunnel goes down a little ways and then seems to curve off to the right. And you can't see any further beyond that because it curves. And the smaller one looks like it is going kind of up at an angle.
Seeing as it's a cavern and a cave drop, I assume if I yell back up to them, my voice will echo so they can hear me just fine.
Absolutely.
I'll just yell up to them what I see.
Okay. You guys all hear the voice of this dark elf that has bravely climbed down into the hole, yelling up to you, and she tells you exactly what she saw.
Did she tell us that she threw the torches?
Probably.
Okay. Yes, sounds
so
like
I
she
can
did.
see more.
Oak is particularly antsy for no reason.
All right.
Do not drop
For no
me.
reason for us or for no reason for you?
No, just no reason that you can tell.
All right.
Are
Just,
you afraid of
he's just
fire?
like he's not. No, no, no. It's for a different reason entirely.
Do not drop me.
He's not gonna. I mean, I considered it, but
Don't drop me.
I mean, dropping you would also mean Oak jumping down.
Can I climb down?
Oh god, I threw a stick.
Oh no.
You figured it out.
Yep. So now,
Okay.
well, first let me ask this question, Dahlia. Did you detach yourself from the rope when you got to the bottom?
No, I'm pretty much just hanging upside down with my feet wrapped around the rope for an extra grip.
Okay. About how far from the bottom did you want to stop before you're hanging above? I mean,
I figured I would give them a good about 5 feet length of rope to hold on to, and just go down as far as the rope would have let me.
oh, you saw that the hole only went down about 40 feet.
And we have about 50 feet of rope, so I
Yeah.
technically could have touched the floor.
Yeah, you could easily go down to the bottom, untie, and just stand up if you wanted.
I'm still gonna keep myself tied to the rope
You can do that as well.
in case I need to get pulled back up.
Okay. And then
I know, but-
Rhea, you said you wanted to try to climb down the rope.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Go ahead and give me athletics check with advantage.
If you make Oak drop the rope, I swear. Or you fall on me, I swear.
I mean, I'll try not to.
It's a win-win.
Alright, athletics?
Yes.
Fuck.
That'll do. As before, it's with the rope, it's really not that hard of a climb. So you shimmy down it. However, Oak, you are now supporting the weight of 2 people.
Okay.
I would like
I'm
you to
pretty light, though.
I would like you to roll a strength check, please.
Damn it!
Well, 2 people and a very heavy rope.
Yes.
I mean, ropes don't weigh nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, rope's
As
probably heavier than me.
as you climb onto the rope, Rhea, and you get down about 10 feet into the hole, Oak's grip begins to slip on the rope. Dalian, were you standing on the floor? Or did you say? Or were you
If I
still
can
hanging?
feel the rope starting to get looser, and then I look up and see her on it, I'm going to quickly untie myself from the rope and just drop and just stand there, so that way she's
Okay.
not supporting both weights.
All right.
And then stepping out of the way so she can't fall on me.
What would happen is if you were so were you actually still before that above the floor? I assume.
Now, after you explain that, I'll just stand there.
Okay. All right. So you were standing there. So you weren't necessarily supporting all of her weight, but you did have the rope on her, taut, ready to pull her up.
Mm-hmm.
So you feel the rope go slack as it starts to slip through, and you are now holding the very end of it. And
Shit.
Rhea, you have gone from about 10 feet down the rope. You are now a distance of 15 feet total from where you started, as 5 feet of it slips, and you're holding the very end of the rope, Oak. Give me another strength check.
I still untied myself and stepped to the side, right?
Yes, it will take a
Okay.
second. It will take a second, though. You managed to dig those sharp nails of yours
Yes.
into the end of the rope and hold on.
Oh my god.
Okay. Rhea ends up climbing down the rest of the way as Dalian finishes undoing the rope and kind of pushes it aside so she's not right under it. And then Rhea ends up kind of sliding down the rope the rest of the way right to her. And now Oak's just holding the rope.
I'm just gonna glare at the kid and tell her, this is why I said don't come.
No, wait! I got this.
I
I'm
don't
gonna
care.
I'm gonna
I said
cast
don't
light
come
on
for a
myself.
reason. I don't want to deal
Oak will lean over the edge and
babysitting.
say, "Sorry."
It's not your fault.
I'm gonna
So-
cast light on myself.
You pointing to Rhea, stay quiet, stay behind me, and I don't want to hear a thing from you.
Just cast light on yourself. That's gonna be
So-
a pretty big deal.
Yeah. So where exactly
Unless
on
you see
yourself?
a monster, you see a monster, or you're about to get stabbed, stay quiet.
You know what? Are there rocks below me? I'm guessing.
Well, it is a cave, but it's not man-made. It's very natural. So there are some rocks around. You do see some stalactites and stalagmites around the edges of this cavern.
All right, I'm gonna pick up some rocks and cast light on that,
Okay, so you cast light on a rock.
and then multiple, and I'll give a couple to Dalian.
Okay. Well, that's going to take multiple castings of the spell. So
Yeah.
It's a cantrip though, so it's not really a big deal.
Yeah.
Actually, double check if light is concentration or not. I don't think so.
No.
No. Okay. Good. So yeah, you have no problem. So you go ahead and cast light on a few rocks, and you offer one to Dalian.
It's shiny.
She's offering you a rock that, I mean, it's like a torch, but it's no heat.
If I throw this, will it stay lit?
Absolutely.
Like I'm asking her that.
Yeah.
So
As
I
I've
guess
like just
as far
chuck
as I-
one to prove it.
How many times can you do this?
As much as I want. I'm a strong person.
That's not what I asked. Or just you can just do it.
I can do it as easily as I can wave my hand.
Cool. Light as many as you can and just walk down one of the tunnels and keep throwing it. I'll keep an eye on you from back here.
I do that. It sounds like a reasonable plan. Why would I object?
I sent her down the really big one.
Okay.
Just lighting rocks along the way as I throw them, and then find more rocks to throw.
All right. So
Meanwhile, I want to look around the cavern area to see if there's any runes, items, scratches, anything distinctive that could tell me what might have been here, how long ago, and other such things.
okay.
Uh,
So
can-
you're wanting to search.
Pretty much.
And
Okay.
Oak have pulled up just a little bit more of the rope, so he's got a bit of a better grip. Like not that he's pulling Dalian up, but
Yes. Now that you managed to maintain your grip, and now that the added weight of Rhea and Dalian is no longer attached to it, you have no problem kind of regaining your position on the rope where you were before.
okay.
I pull up
So
some
would that
playing
be
cards and see if,
investigation or
Zoran wants to
perception?
play some solitaire.
1 second. I can see. You were saying?
I pull out some playing cards and see if Zoran wants to play some solitaire while these guys are inspecting this cave.
Okay.
I'd be happy to play
Oak
some
will
cards.
watch fascinated. Oak will just watch in fascination because he just doesn't know this game.
Okay. Oak is watching I Can See and Zurin play some
And
cards.
While
And while
looking around the
yours would be an investigation check to answer your question.
Okay. While looking around the cave, I do want to keep my hearing on her as much as I can.
Okay. So give me an investigation with disadvantage because you're dividing your attention.
I don't know how to do a disadvantage.
Just roll it twice, and you take the lowest. There you go. Still good. As you are looking around there, in the cavern that you're in, you actually notice what looks like some disturbance in the kind of the dust and debris that covers some of this cave floor over by the smaller passageway almost looks kind of like footprints leading both up and back. You're seeing multiple sets. It's almost like it's a well-worn path.
I want to call back to Rhea if she's seen or found anything from her end.
Have I seen or found anything?
Okay. Rhea, as you head down the larger tunnel, throwing your lighted rocks.
Yeah.
One could say that they're lit.
Yes. One could say, but why would one use proper grammar?
Why
Would
use
use
many
proper
words if
grammar.
fewer would do good?
So, you are going down this larger tunnel.
Mhm.
You notice that it seems to, as it's curving around to the right, get a little smaller and then branch off into two directions. And now it is two tunnels. One leading, kind of continuing off to the right, and the other taking a sharp turn to the left.
Okay.
So, does she tell me what she sees?
Yeah.
Alright, I want you to come back.
I go back.
I want to call up to the others, tell them what we found, and then suggest for them to come down as well so we can investigate each paths in pairs.
Well, how are we getting down when Oak's one holding the rope?
Oak would still
how's he
hold
gonna
the
get
rope.
down?
Oak holds the rope and still climbs down. I'm going to go with one of you up the path to see if there's a secondary entrance based on
How
the
do I
footprint.
climb down if I'm holding
How
the
is
rope?
Oak getting down the rope he's holding?
Oak stays with the captain. One of you goes with me up the path to see if there's a different doorway they can come in.
Oh.
So we leave the easily distracted one by himself.
With the captain.
Brilliant.
Would you like to hold the rope and let the others
I would
climb
love
down?
to hold the rope. Let's see how that works out.
Sure, let the gnome hold the rope. That makes a lot of sense.
Sarcasm! Sarcasm!
Why don't we have the captain hold the rope and all of us come down?
Can the captain
How about
support Oak's weight?
first of all, can we look around to see if there's something to tie the rope to?
Did not think of that.
That makes sense.
I can see. You can see a. Come on, I had to do it. No, you see a what actually looks to be a fairly decent-sized tree. It's about another 15 feet away from the hole, but it's got a very sturdy-looking trunk. It's probably a good 1.5 to maybe even 2 feet thick trunk. Looks like it's in there. Doesn't look like it was disturbed. You figure, yeah, this would probably hold our weight.
Okay, now thinking at it from that sense, you wrap the rope around it at least twice for stability, which takes 6 feet, 15 more feet to even reach the edge, and then it's a 40-foot drop. A 50-foot rope isn't long enough. They're gonna have to jump down, and even then we can't
Yeah,
reach the
but then
rope back.
if Oak goes down first,
Right.
if Oak goes down first,
Not
then
much
Oak
of a
will be
drop
able to
for him.
catch
Then he can
You
catch
can-
the two. The
So
little
can
ones
Oak
behind.
throw us back up to grab the rope to climb back out if we need to?
Probably.
Can't we tie rope
Probably
together?
it's not good enough.
Now.
I mean, you can climb on him too.
That's true.
He's like a goddamn tree.
That's why his name's Oak.
I was about to say he's named after one.
Strong like Oak.
Exactly.
As long as I can get back out.
Well, we'll be lucky if we get the chance.
Maybe there'll be another way out.
Or we can find another way out. They had to get another way in.
Mm-hmm.
Can I
Let's
just start going
find an
down the other
deductible.
path? Like with
If he
my
tries to
rocks?
walk away, can I grab the back of her shirt?
Okay, well, hold on. So which path are you trying to go down?
The smaller one.
The smaller one that's leading up.
Yeah,
Okay.
the one that I have not been down.
Okay. So, Dolly, why don't you go ahead and just give me a straight. We'll call it an unarmed attack. So, just a. It's basically just going to be a straight strength attack because you're trying to physically grab her.
So what do I type for that?
1d20 plus your strength modifier.
Okay. Five.
Okay, that is not enough to get her. So this little girl just managed to kind of duck out of your grasp and keeps walking.
If you die, that's on you.
I just like go. I just nod my head and don't ever respond.
So what are the rest of you doing while these two are down in the hole?
I'm waiting for them to get down. I'm not going towards death with
Okay.
her.
Oak will start tying the rope around that tree.
Okay.
Who
You
climbs
And
first?
then once it's secured, Oak will go down first so he can help everyone get down.
okay. So Oak ties the rope around. Everything seems pretty secure, and you start climbing down. Go ahead and give me an athletics check with advantage.
Yay.
Not a problem. You climb down and you get to that last bit of rope, and there's about 15 feet, as said, between the end of the rope and the bottom. But Oak, you're like what? 6 foot, 7 foot tall?
6'4".
6'4". So if you hold on to the end of the rope and slide down to it and stretch out, you're really only looking probably about 7 feet between your feet and the bottom. So go ahead, if you want to go ahead and let go. Give me an acrobatics check to land safely.
Okay.
Okay, it's a good thing the DC wasn't very high.
Yes.
Okay, you made it. You land, but then you kind of slip and fall on your butt. Luckily, though, most of the impact was absorbed by your legs before you fell over. So you kind of check yourself. You don't feel like you're injured. Everything seems okay.
I'll help Oak up.
Okay.
He gives you a smile and he's just like, haha.
Can I give Oak a little bit of food from my pouch as like a good job? Since they asked for food earlier anyway.
He takes it and he's just like, oh, thank you. And he gives you a hug.
Oh god, no physical contact. Don't hug.
All right. Who's next down the rope?
I'll go.
All right. Same thing. You're heading down the rope. Go ahead and do an athletics check with advantage.
Wait, wasn't Oak gonna catch them at the
Yeah.
end? By the way.
Yeah, when they get down to the end.
Okay.
Yeah, when they get down to the end. And while Oak is chewing his snack, he waits for Zoran to get down.
Okay. As Zorn is coming down, between Zorn getting to the end of the rope and you reaching up, you basically can grab Zorn's calves, reach up and grab Zorn's calves. So they don't really even have to be caught. They just kind of drop down and you help guide them down safely. So
Yeah.
Zorn lands without a problem. I can see. Do you wish to go down the rope?
Well, I guess I'd better.
All right.
Seems like everybody else is going down.
All right. So athletics with advantage, please. Not a problem. You as well make it down, and you
When I
end up.
get down to the bottom end of the rope, I'm going to try to unstrap my backpack because it's the heaviest thing on me. It almost doubles my weight.
Okay.
I'm going to say, catch this first. Please don't drop it. It'll make everything so much easier when I come tumbling down.
All right. So you try to catch it, Oak.
Yes.
All right. You catch it without much of an issue.
Yes.
And you set it down,
Very
and
gently.
Yep, and then
I appreciate that.
I can see comes next, follows after his belongings, and again he's shorter, so you can't quite reach him, but between the end of the rope and him, and then you're stretching up, he only has to drop a couple feet before you're able to just grab him right there, and he's light
Yeah.
compared to the a full grown human or something like that. So it's not much of an issue for you. So now you've all managed to make it down into this cavern.
What about the captain?
The captain shouts down and says, "I will keep guard up here. I will make sure that nothing happens and that the rope stays secure so that if you need it, you can come back."
Okay.
Why do I not trust this?
Because you were paid to kill him?
Probably. Generally, there's a reason people want somebody dead.
Have I found anything going down that
As
pathway?
it has been a little bit as the people have been coming down the rope, and as you've continued to go along that pathway, it has continued up at a slight angle. Uh, you've probably gone now for about 200 feet from where the cave was that the path connected to. And as you come up towards, that, as you're coming up towards the distance you've made it to,
Mm-hmm.
you can see at the edges of your vision that it looks like there might be an outline of a ladder before you.
I run towards it.
Okay, you run towards it, and sure
You don't
enough,
think if there's any traps?
you see
Hope not.
a ladder, and it is going up, and looks like it goes up for a good 20 feet or so. And then there's some kind of hatch or something, some wooden, something wood, right where the ladder ends.
I relay this information to
We can.
people behind.
There's no way we can hear her from like 200 feet away, can we?
You can always try.
I'm gonna just maybe shouting is bad. Fine, I'll run back to tell them.
Okay. By the time I can see makes it down to the bottom, you guys see Rhea running out of the passageway on the far end, coming straight towards you.
I would instantly pull out my daggers thinking something is wrong. If she's running full speed at us.
I gotta relay information. There's a ladder, and I think I might go into a building, and that might be where the bad people are.
Okay, what about the two converging paths that the giant monster came from? That clearly turned small enough that monster shouldn't have been able to fit.
Well, if the monster couldn't fit down the other path, it probably didn't come from that path.
Hence my confusion. If it came from right here, but there's two more paths that it clearly didn't come from.
We shouldn't have to worry about that path being where the monsters came from.
Unless the
Well-
smaller monsters are converging down there. Or there's something creating said smaller monsters down there.
Tunnels usually lead somewhere. That's all he said.
Usually.
Yes, usually lead somewhere.
Brilliant.
So, seeing as you carry a bunch of tinkering stuff and you already know what's over there, why don't the two of you head towards the hatch and see if you can find anything, I don't know, alchemy stations, wizard stations, summoning circles, whatever else.
Yes, let's split the low-level party.
What if someone
She
in
has
there?
knowledge in magic, you have knowledge in tinkering.
What if
the-
someone's in there though? What if there's lots of people and they have
Weren't you the
swords?
dagger
Well,
And
champion?
they
then
stab
don't you have
us.
with you? I can hit
Weren't you the
people
dagger
from-
champion though? You're constantly boasting about your skills and being
I'm
able to
fucking
do everything.
great, but I'm not great against a blade.
How
That
about-
shit hurts.
How about the assassin who can look for traps and open doors and locks?
Because I don't want to.
Oh, I see how it works. You like giving ideas, but you don't like following through.
Hey, oh,
How
you want
about
to go up
this?
the
Does
ladder?
anybody have any straws or cards?
I start walking towards the ladder, and I'm just like, oh,
Oak
follow!
follows. Oak is following.
I kind of
like,
wanted the
"Big
big
guy
guy
goes,
with
I go."
us.
We're gonna find out if there's any, like, out...
Oh, that connection.
Yeah, that connection kind of
Yeah.
got you. You broke up a bit.
No, I, like my character couldn't actually pronounce
No.
that alchemist station. The Alka what's it?
All right.
That Alka what's it?
All right. So
We're
Oak
leaving the fate of research to the 13-year-old.
and the barbarian.
And oh,
Mhm. With an
Yeah, I'm following
intelligence.
the barbarian.
Right?
Where the big one goes, I go.
All right. So you got Rhea, Oak, and I can see all start heading to the tunnel at the far end.
I just look at Zoran and go, should we go after them or go through the creepy crawly death tunnels?
Let's
Well,
go
if
with
it's
them.
cold.
Creepy crawly death tunnels does not sound like a pleasurable occurrence.
not sell them that.
I'll jog to catch up with them and I'll just stand next to Oak.
Okay. Okay. So everyone is. So everyone starts heading down the tunnel on the far end, or I should say up rather, as it angles up. And sure enough, you get to the end. You see the ladder. Ladder goes up for 20 feet. And then there looks to be some kind of wooden hatch door something that the ladder is going to.
I'll go up the ladder first and barely open the hatch to see if there's any tripwires or traps.
And if there is, do you want me to go up then?
And just push it open.
Yeah.
No, because then
Send
it'll set it
Oak
off.
first. Kill any bad guys.
No. If there's a trap, I have to disable the trap
Alright.
first.
So
Okay,
you're
but then after you do that, if there are bad
Then
guys,
you can go.
okay,
all right.
okay, that's what I wanted to know.
So you're wanting to search for traps, basically, and make
Essentially.
sure it's clear. Okay, so why don't you please give me an investigation roll?
22.
All right, 22. You, as you open it slightly, you looking for tripwires, anything like that. You see nothing. Doesn't seem like there's anything there. No traps that you can tell.
Alright, I will slowly, inch by inch, open it the rest of the way to look in the room to see if there's any bad guys or possible traps further on in the room.
Okay. As you do that, you are continuing to slowly open it. You're not seeing anything other than you're obviously in some kind of room in a house, and it doesn't look like there's really much in here. In fact, you finally get the door all the way open, and when you look around, this house looks like it has been abandoned for years. There's dust everywhere. There's a set of shelves along one wall, but the shelves themselves are leaning to one side as if they're kind of broken, and the only thing really holding them up is the fact that one edge is actually catching on the edge of a door frame. There's dust on everything, cobwebs.
Is there any footprints in the dust on the floor?
Yes, you do see some, and they lead out towards the door on the far end of this small structure.
Those have to be relatively fresh if there's dust everywhere else.
They seem to be.
Is this house still like inside the city limits
Standing?
of the town?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Are
Absolutely. You only traveled for about 250, 260 feet from
Right.
where you were, and the town is got quite a bit larger than that. This house is inside the town, but it looks to be, from what Dalian sees, pretty run down and abandoned, which is not unusual. There are several, abandoned properties in the town. Usually over time, someone will move in, tear it down, and build up something new.
going the rest of the way up, I want to step exactly where the other footprints are so I don't disturb anything else on the road.
Okay.
And Oak, seeing her go up, follows. And once he gets to the top, he sneezes automatically because of the dust.
Okay. Oak sends up a nice big dust cloud as just volcanic blast erupts from Oak's mouth and nose, and just whoosh, and you see this dust cloud behind you by the hatch as you are gingerly stepping in the footprints that were laid before. And you make it all the way to the door. Nothing happens.
Can I climb up as well, seeing that they're both in there? I want to look around.
Absolutely. You climb all the way up.
Oak also says, "Excuse me."
All right.
Light, it's nice.
I want to slowly open the door to the house, make sure there's no traps or tripwires that could trigger from the outside.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check.
5.
Okay. You don't think there's anything there. Doesn't seem like it.
Hey, Oak, why don't you come open the door the rest of the way?
Okay. And he just goes up and opens the door.
Door opens just fine. Swings wide open. And as you open it, taking a look outside, you kind of notice, hey, wait a minute, that's the captain over there. About a good, 300 feet away, standing over by a large hole.
Can I
Oak just says,
look?
"Hi!" and waves.
Small kid, don't know your name. Go get the captain.
Okay. I go run to get the captain.
Captain sees, Oak waving, saying hi, and then sees little Rhea running out towards him. And God has a look of alarm on his face because he couldn't really hear what Oak was saying because so far away. Just kind of heard a, "Ah!"
I want to say to Zoran, I don't hear anything up there anymore. Do you think they're all dead?
Oh, I would go back to the hatch and call down to them that it's safe to come up.
And I would say, I don't think we're that lucky.
Fair point.
So the captain sees Rhea
Captain!
running at him,
Captain!
and immediately is looking around like, okay, she must be in trouble, because all he saw was some waving and then this 13-year-old running at him like a bat out of hell. So he's looking around, and as soon as you're within earshot, you hear his voice yelling, "Is everything okay?"
I'm just gonna just stop and shout, "Yeah! Follow me!"
Okay.
And try to get him to follow me.
Okay. He takes another look around. Says,
I would
okay.
poke my head out and yell as loud as I can towards the captain, "Bring the rope!"
All right. The captain. What? Is kind of you kind of hear what?
So I would yell to Rhea to yell to the captain because she's closer. Tell him to bring the rope.
Okay. It eventually the message gets across to him.
I gave a telephone.
Yeah, pretty much. So he brings the goat. I mean, no. So he unties the rope, pulls it up out of the hole, kind of winds it up as best he can, and puts it on his shoulder. And as he starts walking over, another patrol, 2 guards come running up to him, stop him for a second, tell him something. He looks at them, and then he kind of nods, and then points back towards the direction of the church, and then continues walking. And eventually, 30 seconds later or so, he shows up right at this little rundown shack that is clearly abandoned, and goes, "So, how did you get up?"
We magically teleported.
Oak will say, "There's a ladder," and he'll take the rope from the captain so that he can carry it.
Okay.
Can I see if there's any
Interesting.
like trinkets or anything that might have
Yeah, I just wanna
accidentally been left behind?
So you're looking for any trinkets or things like that in the house?
Yeah, anything magical specifically?
I'm looking for anything like study wise, like books or records left behind or anything of that sort.
Okay.
I just want magic shit.
All right. So, Rhea,
Hmm.
uh, you do see in one corner of the room what looks like a small little rag doll that has definitely seen better days. Uh,
No.
it's dirty. It's old. It's seams are coming apart on some places. Some stuffing coming out here and there. It just looks like a you know toy for some little child that unfortunately got left behind long ago.
Um, I go and be like, I wonder if there's magic in this. Can I like tell if there's any magic in it somehow?
If you cast a spell detect magic, you could.
Okay, never mind. I don't have that, so I'm just gonna
Ah,
pick it up.
okay. So you pick it up and take it with you, I assume.
Yeah.
Oak is gonna say, probably the magic of a tragic childhood.
Oak might be right about that.
Stallion would just quietly say, I fit that way too well.
So do I.
This doll
And he
came from home.
lifts up his hand for a high five.
I would. Stallion just stares at it for a second before slowly and barely touching his hand in the high five.
All right. Zoran, why don't you go ahead and actually both you and I can see. Give me a perception check, both of you.
What about me?
We'll get back to you.
Not too great.
Zoran's definitely is.
Very nice.
You notice, as you're down there by the ladder waiting to find out, because you didn't say you went up, so I assumed you stayed down there. Would that be correct?
Yep.
All right.
Mhm.
I'm still down there.
All right. As you're down there, you're kind of waiting to find out what the heck's going on. You're looking around, and as you face away from the ladder, going back the other direction, kind of up near the ceiling of this tunnel that leads to the ladder, you notice some weird carving right into the rock. It looks kind of like, well, in your opinion, some kind of chicken scratches or something. You're not quite sure. What languages do you speak? Just to be sure.
Elvish and Common.
Elvish and Common? Okay, and I assume you'd point this out to I can see, correct?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Okay. What languages do you speak?
Gnomish, Common, and Goblin.
Okay. Neither of you know exactly what this is, but it's not something natural for sure. Someone clearly put this here. You don't know why.
Do like an arcane check to see if it's something I might recognize in other scratchings I've seen.
Yes, absolutely.
Something formulaic. Maybe?
Roll an Arcana check. Okay, you do recognize it being some kind of arcane symbols. You're just not familiar with exactly which ones they are.
I will take out a piece of paper and do like a relief scratching.
Okay. Okay, so you
Can I
now have
poke my head down the hatch, wondering why they still haven't come up yet? Like, what's taking you so long?
well, you were in the middle of searching, so you're gonna have to wait.
Well,
Okay. So you kind of do a little relief, like like they do on gravestones and stuff, I assume. And I will be sending you something after the game that you will have for this. Now, while you are looking at that, Dalian, while you're looking in this small, basically one room house, there is a table in the corner And you said you were looking for documents or things like that. Well, there is a book sitting on there, and it is not covered in dust. It's not a very big book.
I want to go over to it and just barely open the lid of it with a single finger to peek inside.
Okay. You do that, and you see some writing, but kind of hard to read it with the book only partially open.
So, no traps. I'll open it the rest of the way.
All right, you open it up.
You'd be surprised what people can rig.
Yep. You open it up further, and you can see it's not the greatest handwriting. But as you're looking at it, you see things that look like journal entries. There's a date, and then a sentence or two. Some of them relatively innocuous. Checked the northeast area. Haven't found anything there. Continuing on tomorrow. Further down, you see another one. Received word from the High Lord. He's frustrated. Must continue searching. Further down. Found a new part of the cave. Going to investigate. And then one last one as you dig through. Most of these are kind of cryptic. You're not exactly sure what someone's getting at. But it finally stops, and the last one was dated yesterday. It says, I think I found it. That's all it says.
Well, they found something.
I would look over the book one more time, close it, and then put it in my satchel. For now.
Okay.
And then explain to the others that I found something that might be helpful. However, I want to look at it more when we're not in the middle of the battle zone.
Okay. As you do that, the captain who has now come into this small house looks around at the three of you who are up in the building and says, "All right, show me this ladder. Now that it's easier to get down, let's all go and let's see if I've sent a couple guards that happen to come by a way to maybe gather more personnel and meet us. So hopefully now that we have a way to get down, it'll be much easier to check out what you have found."
I will slide down the ladder first and turn around asking what the two of them were doing while they were down here.
And Oak will show the captain to the ladder.
Okay. So, the dark elf rogue sliding down the ladder turns and asks you guys, "What's up?" So what's up?
And I'll point to the writing on the wall.
Do I recognize it?
No, you're not. Well, what languages do you speak? I need to ask that.
Common, Elvish, and Undercommon.
No, you do not recognize it.
I climb down the ladder as well.
Okay.
And then Oak will come down after her.
And the captain follows you guys down as well.
I'll point out the symbol to the three of them.
Ooh, that looks like magic stuffs.
Oh, no,
What is it?
Very good, kid.
Can I see if I know what it is, by chance?
Sure, roll an Arcana check.
I do like magic.
All right.
Oh, I rolled twice.
You rolled twice. I'm going with the first set because.
Yeah.
All right. Like I can see, you know this is definitely some kind of magic rune. You are not exactly sure what it is, but you have an idea that this is some kind of a seal or barrier.
I was actually about to ask, does it look similar to the ones in the church?
Not really.
Does Oak recognize the language?
What languages do you speak?
Common and giant.
No, do not.
Kind of figured.
And Rhea, what languages do you speak?
Just common and halfling.
Okay, so nobody recognizes it. The captain looks and he's got no clue.
Alright, let's go explore the rest. And then I just start heading down the tunnel.
Oak will follow.
Hang on, kid. Before you wander off, shouldn't we decide who goes down which path, since we already know down that way is 2? There are 6 of us.
Why don't we just
Break up where?
go together?
Because if we
Yeah,
split
we
up into
explore one
teams
way
of 3,
first, and then we explore the other way when we come back.
Yeah,
if we
that.
split into teams of 3 and look down each corridor, we can pick a time, come back, and then tell each other what we found. Rather than wasting the time going down
It'd
one
be safer
and then
and
going down the other.
But
safety in
if
numbers.
we run into a scary thing, I want
Then fight.
big tree with me.
Then you can take Oak, but still, if you find something scary, just fight it.
What if it kills me?
Then you
That would
die.
hurt.
Then
you
I'll
die.
avenge you. And I'll make sure I get you somewhere safe and buried.
I start pushing Oak, and I'm just like, I don't like this person.
Oak past you gently and just like, yes, I know. She's very scary. She scares me too.
The giant, sharp-toothed, sharp-clawed barbarian, intimidated by this petite little drow rogue.
That kind of rogue is scary.
All right, so you guys
can't deny I'm pretty, though.
heading down towards the main cavern, I assume, and then off into the other tunnel. Yes, no, maybe so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
What just happened? I stopped paying attention for a second.
We're going down the tunnel to get to the place where it branches.
Okay, so as you are going down this tunnel and you're getting close to where Ray had been before, you see some of her rocks scattered around. The spell of light on those it's still going, and you could ask Rhea. It will continue probably for about another 40 minutes at this point. It's only been about 20 minutes that you've been searching elsewhere. So you've still got quite a bit of time on those. But as you get to that intersection, you see both pathways, one continuing further to the right and another peeling off to the left. And I'm going to need... Yes, go ahead.
Can I open the journal and look through the entries again to see which path he said was was useless and which one he found something in?
Well, going back through it, you again see the one to, I believe I said, the northeast quadrant. You would be able to figure out
Would
from...
Oak-
Oh, yes, go
Would
ahead.
Oak be able to tell what direction it is because he's got the Wanderer trait, so he knows.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely you would. You'd know that the one leading to the right is to the northeast.
Okay.
And the one leading off to the left then is to the southwest. Because they almost go opposite, but they kind of curve away like that.
Okay.
So, and in the journal it said that the northeast was the useful or useless one? Like he found nothing or
nothing was there that he saw. He tried it and he was
need
unsuccessful.
to go to the left.
Okay, and Oak's just like that way.
Alright.
And he starts marching.
Okay. As you start heading down the tunnel to the left, you notice at some points it's again not a man-made cave. The rock walls are jagged in places. Some areas it kind of comes together making for a very tight passage that you kind of have to turn sideways to get through. Other places it widens out a little bit. And as you follow this down, you go for around 100 feet before it makes a sharp turn to the right, which you follow for about another 50 feet.
Would Oak be able to tell if there are like if they've left the town or not?
You would know that there is no way you've gotten outside of the town.
Okay.
The marketplace where the festival was, just getting, looking around and getting a rough estimate of it, from one end to the other, you would have guessed that that's probably 400 to 500 feet just from that marketplace. And
Okay.
the town is quite a bit larger around it.
Okay.
So
Last time I was
you would be very suspicious, or very surprised, I should say, if you went straight up out of the cave and were not in the town, because you just haven't
Okay.
gone quite far enough.
Yeah.
However,
all these.
you would know that you've been going down a little bit.
Yeah.
Is Rhea still throwing rocks of light?
Yeah, I want to keep that. I am the light bringer.
If she's
Oh, God.
throwing rocks, Oak is picking them up and
Okay.
bringing them back to her.
I hand Oak a bunch of rocks and then throw more.
Okay. So
Oak is not sure what to do with the rocks.
I mean, you have some pretty lit rocks there.
Okay. But he wants to go grab the ones you've thrown and bring them back to you so you can throw them
Can I
again.
just hand Oak one of my torch sticks unlit for him to possibly just gnaw on
He will not
to keep him
on it.
occupied?
Yes. Yes, he will not on it.
all right.
Yes.
So as you get down this branch had curved back to the right and was going down, that 50 feet that you've taken before you, you see that it opens up a bit, has about a 10-foot drop down into a small cavern that, if you continue on into it, you get with the help of Rhea's light rocks, you can see it's not very large. It's maybe about 20 feet across, or around 20 feet, lengthwise, and it's a good 10 foot in height or so. So it's not huge, but it's definitely a lot more damp down here. There seems to be moisture on the walls. You can see some mold growing, like lichen and things like that. And to the left, you can see another opening that is heading down that way. And I need everyone to give me perception checks.
16.
Got some good rolls there. Oh yeah. Okay, so every one of you hears a sound that sounds a little bit like scratching on stone, mixed with what Oak would describe as chewing on a unlit torch type sound.
Oak immediately steps in front of everyone and takes out his axe because he's getting ready to protect.
And you also hear
He snack.
and you also hear something that sounds like a wet sound, like a.
Am I the only one who thinks that sounds like something eating a body?
No, you're not wrong. That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Ike is gonna preemptively cast
You all
arcane weapon.
know what a body getting eaten sounds like?
All right, hold on one second there, Ray. Say that again. I can see.
Ike is going to preemptively cast Arcane Weapon on his crossbow.
Okay, excellent. Okay, so you guys see Oak stepping out in front, pulling out his axe. I can see begins to cast a spell.
I'll
torch
pull
is
out my
still in his mouth,
daggers.
by the way.
It's still in his mouth.
All right.
So, cat.
Okay, so
Dalian will pull out her daggers and peek from around Oak.
okay. All you guys see is it's a tunnel opening.
I'll go.
Okay. So
Oh, I'll go with you. I'm not letting anyone go alone.
okay, so Dalian starts leading the way with Oak right behind her, heading down this cavern. Do you still have any of the light stones with you, Oak? Or did you give them all
Probably.
back to Rhea?
I probably have a couple.
Okay.
I would follow. So
Okay.
I would follow.
Okay, so those three are heading down the passageway. What are you and I can see doing there, Zoran?
I am actually standing next to Oak, trying to,
Okay.
be part of a wall.
All right. And I can see?
I'm going to be following, but from what I would feel will be a safe distance.
Okay. So, like 10, 15, 20 feet back?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as you are going down this passage, and it is again at a slight downward grade, and curving to the left. You're coming into what looks like ahead a small light source. You can kind of make it out, but it seems to be drowned out by the light rocks that you currently have right with you. You can see that there's some kind of light emanating. It's very faint, but it's further down the end.
I would ask Rhea.
Puts a hand over like Rhea's light rocks, just like trying to.
I would turn and ask Rhea to actually dispel the light rocks and just trust on the two people with the dark vision.
But I was the light bringer.
Okay. So what do you do?
I go and like decast light.
Okay. Okay. So you cancel your spells of light. And as you do that, you guys are plunged into pitch blackness of this tunnel. With the exception of those who have dark vision, you can now not really see where you're going. If you want to put a hand out on someone and have them guide you, you can do such. But you can see down the end of the tunnel, there is some faint light now. You can see it much better. Where you're at, it's pretty much pitch black. But there seems to be some kind of target to walk towards, a light. You just don't know where to put your feet.
I'm going to use my magical tinkering and create a small 5-foot radius of light so we can carefully walk.
Okay.
Safely.
Okay, so you create a very small, it's 5-foot radius. Just enough so you guys can see right there. Okay.
Dalian will walk very slowly forward, making sure not to step on anything that might make noise.
Yeah, Oak is being very careful too.
Okay. As you are moving forward, you guys are all trying to be stealthy, or just you and Oak?
I'm following right with them.
Okay.
I'd be stealthy.
Okay. Is everyone going to attempt to be quiet, or are you trying to... Yeah. Okay, so everyone please give me stealth checks.
Oh, I forgot to ask if I could put on the pip walking. Damn.
All right. Okay. So you
For a
are
big guy, you're very stealthy.
Yes.
as you're moving along, you come to uh, within about 30 feet of where you can now see the light is enough light. You can see that the end of this tunnel is opening up into a larger cavern. And there is some light in that larger cavern, enough that it's kind of giving you the outline of the entryway from the tunnel into it. And as you're moving closer and closer, you all of a sudden stop hearing the crunch noise.
I would instantly raise a hand to gesture for everybody to stop.
Oak
And
had
just
taken
stay
the torch
still
out of
for a
his mouth
second.
and put it in his pocket.
All right, say that again,
He's
Oak.
doing it for that. He's taken the torch out of his mouth and he's put it in his pocket.
Okay.
That is his stick now.
That is his stick. That is the
Mayo
good
would
stick.
just hide behind Oak.
Okay.
I want to pull out
and
my...
Oak is baring his teeth and he's starting to growl slightly.
Okay.
I want to pull out my Pifwaffy and equip it, and slowly go towards the opening to try and look around.
Okay. All right. So that'll take you a moment to pull it out of your bag and put it on. What about I can see in Zoran?
Just stand in the back, ready my crossbow.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I would
I am
gesture
What
for them
range
to
you guys
stay
do?
there.
staying with the other elf.
Okay. All
I
right.
would actually turn and look at them and gesture for me to go alone, because the Pifwaffy will only cover me for the stealth bonus.
Okay. All right. So, what do you guys decide to do?
Oak is standing back to be a wall of meat.
I am standing behind said wall of meat.
All right.
I'll kind of guess I'll go stay between uh, the rogue and Oak.
Okay. And then I can see you said you were staying back with your crossbow ready.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Wait,
So,
who's the rogue? I'm a warlock.
I'm
No, Dalen's
the stallion.
the Dalian is the rogue.
Oh, okay.
so, Delian, it looks like the group has said, yeah, go right ahead. So you've now taken a moment. You've got your Piwafi on, and go ahead and move up.
Very slowly and very quietly,
All right.
trying to stay into the shadow portions and just barely peek around the corner to see what is over there.
All right. Give me another stealth check, please.
And then
Okay.
+2 because of the...
Yep. Okay. So as you sneak up to the mouth of the cave, the entrance between the tunnel and the cave itself, you are peeking around the edge, and you see 5 of these giant slug-like creatures. Their faces have about 12 to 17. There's random number of eyes all over them. There are these grotesque fangs coming out of what seems to be an impossibly large mouth. And just a slimy, spike-riddled body that's all about the size of maybe like a Saint Bernard. And there are 5 of them. and they are 10 feet away from you, slugging their butts right towards you. Everybody roll initiative.
Fuck me. Can I go back to the group now?
Alright. Okay. So, now before this wondrous fight begins, we are going to take a short intermission so that we can empty our bladders, get a fresh drink, and kind of prepare for what is to come. So, if everyone please remember, please mute your mics as we go to intermission. I prefer to stay away from the man-eating slugs. I throw them out there and then run away. That's kind of my job.
Out there, and then I run away.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
That's okay. Oak is now the precious baby that must be protected at all costs. This is law.
Why do we gotta protect Oak?
Apparently he's too precious for this world.
Oak is protector though.
Yeah, exactly.
Oak
has
is good boy.
protecting.
Oak is a good boy.
Oak
Who's
is
a
the
good
best.
boy? Oak is a
He's
good
the
boy. You're such a good boy.
Oak gets all the treats and the pets.
Yes.
Yay!
All right.
Now, Oak, please save Dalian. Don't let her
Let's
get
just-
crushed and munched.
Let's just hope when the big kitty shows up later that Oak stays a good boy.
Oh God,
Uh,
cats.
he will. He will.
All right. So, as you looked around that corner, that was what you saw.
Can I do one thing really, really fast?
Nope, it is not your turn yet.
I don't want to get crunched and munched.
So, as you look around the corner, the description was what you saw, and I can see. You hear this kind of gurgling, sloppy, wet motion noise of the slug movement, as it also lets out this horrible little scream, like as Dalian has peered around the corner. And it is your turn to act. Zoran, you are on deck.
On instinct, I'm going to try to, I suppose, protect myself more than anybody else, because I don't know you people
Fair.
more than a day. So I'm going to, as long as I can see the thing, I'm going to try to put a dart in it from my crossbow.
Okay, you see them. They have moved towards the mouth of the cave. So you can kind of see Dalian is standing there, kind of in the mouth of the cave, off to one side, and they have just come over to the cave itself, and you can kind of see it silhouetted against the light. So there are 5 there. You can pick any one you want and take a shot at it.
Whichever one would be nearest to me.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your attack.
Let's see if this works.
All right. Yes, you
Wow.
definitely hit it.
2 1s on my damage dice.
All right. Yeah, that doesn't help, but you definitely hit it.
Yeah.
And it's makes that same horrific noise, which I'm not going to do again because that actually hurts my throat. But it makes that same noise that you just heard, but it sounds more high pitched and in pain. And you can, in the dimmer light, you can still see that your crossbow bolt definitely it's sticking in there pretty good.
Okay.
Zoran, you're up.
My roll 20 crashed and I'm reloading, so
Oh. No problem. If you want, if you have any dice on you, you can roll them while we wait, or you can choose to hold your action and then go after you roll 20s back up.
well, it's coming back on right now.
Okay.
So
We'll give it a moment then.
sorry.
No problem.
So I'll walk up to one of the closest ones and give it a whack.
All right. Are you going after the same one that I can see hit that's got a crossbow bolt in it, or one of the others. They're all kind of in the same general area. You can pretty much.
I'll hit the one that's already been hit.
Okay. So that definitely hits. Okay, your first hit with the quarterstaff. As you smack it, okay, you crush its skull straight down through its body. Your second attack, that bonus action, you, I assume, would go after something that's still alive.
Yeah.
And take a swing at the one that's right next to it, which your fist connects with it, and you can feel bones breaking as your fist makes contact with it. They crush under your blow. It reels back, turns towards you, screams at you, and then it's its turn.
And I'll yell at the group. They're kind of squishy.
No shit, they're slugs.
Okay.
Good. They make better Q toys then.
All right. It is their turn. The first one goes right after you because you just hit it and you killed one of its fellow slug creatures, the larva. It takes a bite at you and hits you. And let me double check you. Yep, that hits you and does a whopping 1 point of damage as its teeth just kind of rake across the outside of your calf as you pull your leg out of the way just enough to avoid the receiving any heavy damage.
That's it.
Another one comes after you. This one again hits you. However, its bite is a little more effective as it grabs onto your other leg and does 2 points of damage. The remaining two, now kind of blocked from getting to you, they come over around towards Dalian. The first one attempts to bite you and misses. As its jaw comes down right where it thought you were, and instead finds a rock that was right where your foot used to be. The second one, sliding up next to it, attempts to bite out at this figure in the shadows. And it manages to latch on to your ankle. You can feel the teeth going into the side of your foot as it does 2 points of damage to you.
Oh look, I'm in chains again.
Hey, don't kink
Oh.
shame.
Oh,
Not what I
okay.
meant.
Oak, you are now up, and Rhea, you are on deck.
How do I do the points with the who's of what?
Okay, Oak is gonna attack the one that's currently latched on to Dalian
Okay,
and see if he can off her.
all right. So you step up, and as you swing your axe down,
Please don't take
Well,
my
it's more
foot.
like a golf swing.
okay, so you're golf swing it. You hit that thing and cut right through it, right in half.
Yes.
And Dalian, you can feel the flat of Oak's axe as it kind of tickles and brushes against your toes as it's going through this creature that has your foot in its mouth. Doesn't hurt you, just kind of brushes those toes a little bit. So you just obliterate it in one hit.
Yes.
Rhea, you are up, and Dalian, you are on deck.
Is my foot free now?
Not yet, but you're on deck. It's Ray's turn first.
I'm gonna shoot an Eldritch Blast at one of them.
Okay. Anyone in particular? Did you
Um,
did you want one that's already hurt or one that hasn't been hit at all?
Already hurt.
Okay, so the one of the ones that went after Zoran is actually looks like it's been injured. It's got half of the side of its head kind of caved in from Zoran's punch. So,
Blast at that.
all right,
Ooh. Eldritch Blade.
you fire your Eldritch Blast off, and as the arcane energy builds up and shoots forth, Zoran is trying hard to get their foot out of this thing's mouth and actually manages to move it out of the path of your blast.
No.
How big are these things?
About the size of a German Shepherd.
Okay.
So they're pretty decent size. It's probably about the size of. They're probably a little bit bigger than Rhea as a halfling. So,
So
The
big.
shoulder.
yeah.
Oh.
So,
For some reason, my mind pictured like some big, hulking mass of goo.
That's what I pictured at first, and then he said
Yeah.
dogs, and I was
Yeah.
just like, oh, those are more manageable.
Yes. Yes. Dalian, you are up. I can see you are on deck.
I want to shake the goo off my foot, first off. And then I want to try and use Minor Illusion and create a loud roar to try and scare them back a bit.
Okay. Go ahead and so you're going to try to shake it off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, the one that bit you, Oak just cut in half, so your foot's free. So if you're wanting to move away from the one that's still next to you,
Yeah.
it's going to get an attack of opportunity against you as you try to move away from it, unless you choose to take the disengage action. But that would be your action.
I'll just scream in its face then,
Okay. So you're
using the spell.
using the spell. Okay. So you cast minor illusion to try to frighten this creature. Okay. And as your spell comes around, it just growls at it back. Just that same kind of screech, just right back at the thing.
And then, so if I use that as my main action, can I use the chance while it's growling at the voice to hit it with my dagger?
That unfortunately you could not do. You get in each turn you get one action, one bonus action, and then you can do a limited number of free actions, which is mostly just like talking. But at the same time, a round is really only 6 seconds, so you can't have a monologue. And you also get a reaction that you can use, which is normally done outside of your turn. But those are certain things listed on your D&D Beyond character sheet. Will say this is a reaction. Certain things will also say this is a bonus action.
Okay.
So, in order to attack, an attack is normally an action. If you are dual wielding, which basically you are with your two daggers, you can use an action to attack with one, and then use a bonus action to attack with the other, but you do not get any of your pluses to the damage on that second attack.
So because I used the spell first, I can't use one dagger in a bonus
Right.
action?
No, you cannot, because the spell that wasn't a direct attack type spell. You were attempting, like an Eldritch Blast or a Firebolt or something like that is a direct attack. That's an attack action. So,
Okay.
all right. So, Dalian, you are done, and I can see before you go, everyone hears from the far side of the room, still in shadows, a cackling sound. I need everybody to go ahead and give me a wisdom save.
How do I do that?
Right. Well, if you look, remember I mentioned the buttons at the top of your sheet? Yep,
I
there
just
you
hit
go.
save
You
throw.
did it. Exactly. There you go.
And
That's
it's a
that's
21.
that's the macro that I put on for everyone up at the top there. So you can just hit that, and it gives all the saves. So you can just find the appropriate one. So,
I got 21.
all right.
Oak did
Wisdom.
better than I thought he would.
Yes. All right. So Rhea and I can see. Unfortunately for you two, you now both fall to the floor laughing. Just uncontrollably laughing.
This is ridiculous. Oh, Jesus Christ. Mother Mary of God.
Oh, wait, no, sorry. Correction.
Oh.
I had the DC written down wrong. Nope, you guys just made it.
Okay, good.
You just made it. Actually,
Just affects us in real
I
person.
had to, I had to double check it really quick because I couldn't see it and I finally found it. So, yep, you guys just made it. But you're fighting off this urge to laugh really, really hard as you hear this cackling sound and then see a relatively small creature, a little bit smaller than these slugs, that is red and has wings and is flying towards you
Oh god, it's an imp.
and is cackling horribly, making the just sound. And as it does that, you guys feel that urge to just begin laughing, but you shake it off. It is now your turn, I can see.
Yeah, I'm going to do what I did last time and attack the thing that's closest to the party with my crossbow.
All right.
And another one on my damage roll.
All right. So you shoot your crossbow. As your bolt flies towards it, it wedges right into what looks like a kind of hard shoulder blade portion of it, and it just looks at you and seems to ignore what just happened. It doesn't look like it got through its thick hide. It's the bolt itself is mostly sticking out. Yeah, very little of it went through, so apparently it's got a pretty thick hide. Game mechanics, you didn't hit the AC. Okay. All right, so do you have any bonus actions you would like to do?
Nope.
All right. Zoran, you're up. Oh, I can't hear you. You are muted.
Sorry, inline mute. I'll use my staff two-handed on another one of the slugs.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make your attack. Oh, you hit it, and you hit the same one that that was latched onto you.
Yeah, the
All
same
right.
one I punched.
All right. So that one, as your quarterstaff comes down, you cave in the other side of its head, and it now looks like you've taken a basketball and just went and crushed it in on both sides, as all this slimy, viscous, red and green tinged muck just drains out of what's left of its skull all over the floor.
And
Still have a
I'll look
bonus
back at Oak and go, "Hey, Oak, I found some jelly."
Do not eat the plugs.
Do not do not eat the slug. That's good advice for anyone. All right, you still have a bonus action left and movement if you care to use it.
Can I walk up to another one and punch it?
You still have one right next to you, so yes, you're right
Okay.
there.
I'll punch that one.
Yep, you punch that one, and this one you hit as it turns a little bit away from you. You hit it in its more in the side, but again, you can feel what you can only describe as the bursting of some inner organs as the force of your punch vibrates through its body.
Ooh, the cream-filled kind. And I'll end my turn there.
Okay. It is their turn. Okay. As they go, hold on 1 second, let me fix that. As the last of them are about to go, the cackling red creature jumps in first. And it shoots what looks to be some kind of arcane ball of energy over towards Oak. And Oak, you get hit with this little ball of flame that slams into you and singes you a little bit. You take 2 points of damage from it.
Okay.
It then moves back away into the dark corner, keeping its distance.
Okay.
The larva then goes. The larva, it kind of changed the order up a little bit here. Sorry about that. The larva goes ahead, and there's one still next to Zoran, so it takes a bite, trying to continue its damage against Zoran, and hits. This one grabs your leg, just like the last one did, its teeth ripping into your calf for another 2 damage. The last one is still over near Dahlia and attempts to bite her. But as it comes in, once again, she manages to not be where it thinks she is. Now it is Oak's turn. And Dalian, you are on deck after that.
Okay. Well, Oak sees that little imp, and he gets really annoyed because that imp has tried to hurt his friends for a day, but you are his friends. And so he goes over to that imp, and he picks it up by the throat. And he tries to tear off its wings.
All right, so as Oak
Go Oak!
as Oak moves past the remaining slug larva, the one that is not latched onto Zoran's leg goes ahead and attempts to bite you as you move past it, and misses you as you manage to slink past it too fast for it to react.
Okay.
You then move into the darker shadows where this imp, as you called it, has retreated.
Mm-hmm.
You can see it, and you do have the movement to
Yeah.
reach it. So, if you are going to grab it, I need you to roll me an athletics check.
Just that blink though.
Okay. You reach out to grab it, and this nimble little creature just takes a flap of its wings and shoots up in the air 5 feet. So as you reach out, your arms swing and you miss. And its now looking down at you from about 5 feet above you and in front of you, just cackling at you.
Oak is just gonna growl at it, and that's gonna be his turn.
Okay. Okay, Dalian, you are up.
So,
And
question:
Rhea, you're on deck.
the slug that had
Somehow
turned
it should-
towards Oak to try and attack it, because its back turns to me, can I use that as an opportunity attack to sneak attack it?
No, you don't get opportunity attacks for that. However, the way rogues work in 5th edition, and I didn't catch that before with where you're standing, in 5th edition, if you have an ally standing within 5 feet of an enemy, you can do a sneak attack on that enemy.
So I can sneak attack the slug.
Yes. You do not get advantage on the attack roll unless something is giving you advantage. But you do get sneak attack on the first attack of that round, as long as an ally is within 5 feet of the creature.
Okay. So it would be a typical dagger attack with an extra 1d6?
Yes, exactly.
Okay. How do I do the rolling for the thing?
You should see a dagger is one of the ones at the top of your screen, one of the buttons.
No.
No, I did not label it dagger then. All right.
I have deception.
I didn't put any of the attack rolls up there. Just what you would roll for yours is it's going to be 1d20 plus whatever your attack roll is. Which I think you have a 5, which most people should have like a +5 usually for like their main thing.
I don't know where I'm looking for that.
All right, hold on. I will look.
Sorry.
It's okay.
It'd be your dex modifier plus your proficiency bonus.
Which is why it's usually 5, because most people
Then mine's a 6.
Okay.
Because I have a +4 in dexterity.
No, you shouldn't have a +4. Your dexterity is 15, so you have a +2.
It's saying, then what is... Oh, those are my saving throws that I'm looking at.
Yes, that's different. That's different. Your dagger.
What am I looking at?
Yep, your dagger attack. Looking at it is +4. So /R space 1d20 +4 to do your attack roll. Okay, that will hit. Now you'll get to roll 1d4 +2. So /R space 1d4 +2, and then /R space 1d6. There you go. So you did 7 points of damage to it. So that one, which was this one over here next to you, you sink your dagger into it, and you drive that dagger deep into its back as you reach over top of its attempt to bite and drive it in what you can only assume is the base of its neck, even though it doesn't really have a neck. And it goes in deep. It begins thrashing around. It's still there, still fighting, but you definitely hurt it. You still have a bonus action.
Can I use my bonus action to use Slip into Shadows? And just blend in with the area?
I believe... Yes, that is your Slip into Shadow is a bonus action. So you would mark it off on your sheet on D&D Beyond, and go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
I think I marked it correctly. And because I still have the Pifwaffy, do I still get the bonus?
Okay. Well, yes, it should. Your total bonus for stealth should be a +6.
I got a 22.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That should be exactly what it is, because it was put in there as what your bonus was. So yeah, you got a 22, and you just kind of meld into the shadows of the side of that tunnel that you're still in. Okay.
And poof, I'm gone.
Yep. Rhea, you are up, and I can see you're on deck.
I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast at the imp.
Okay. So go ahead and shoot your Eldritch Blast off at it. And as you shoot, the energy is going straight for Oak's head. But no, it's actually above. It looks like it's on target. And this creature shifts to the side, just out of the way. You still have a bonus action and a movement.
I'm going to use my bonus action to cast Healing Light on Dalian.
Okay, does she know where I am anymore?
That's a very good question.
Because I
Give
just
me a
literally
give me a perception check.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Perception.
Thank you though.
I'm trying to be helpful, and you're over here
This is what you get
No.
when you disappear.
Well, because I have a plan. I just
hearing.
steps to get to the plan.
No, you do not know where she went.
Alright, then never mind.
Okay.
That's the end of my
Sorry.
turn.
All right.
Hey, none of the monsters know where I am either.
All right. So, is that your turn?
Yeah.
All right. So, I can see you are up, and Zoran, you're on deck.
Okay, well, I'm going to look at the one that just kind of dodged out of the Eldritch Blast.
Okay,
And I'm just-
that's the imp, as you guys are calling it.
Sure. And say,
The
oh,
annoying
you're
thing.
a shifty one. We'll dodge this one. And he does.
Yes, yes, he does. He's a nimble creature as it darts through the air, back and forth.
Wear him out so I can grab him and rip off her wings.
Doing the best.
All right, so
This whole time, can I just be slinking through the area towards the imp since nobody can see where I am?
on your turn, you can move towards it. Yes. Okay. Actually, you did not use your movement that turn, so you could have moved towards it in order to get around while still hiding around the slugs or larvae. I would say that you are still now about 15 feet away from where it currently is. But then on your next turn, you could use your
Okay.
movement to get up there. Zoran, you are up.
I will whack and punch the same slug thing that I'd hit the last time.
All right. Go for it. All right.
Hey,
And with
Shelby, quick question. How
With
well can
that-
Oak handle being used as a springboard?
Pretty well.
Okay.
all right, with your
He's a tree.
quarterstaff, you once again smash into another one of these slugs that has already been injured, and it just starts twitching and eventually goes still. And when you follow up on the last slug with your punch, you actually manage to get under it as it is lifting half of its body in an attempt to strike at you. And your punch comes up and hits it underneath, launching it into the air about 10 feet as it flies through and lands a total of about 15 feet away from you, not moving.
Okay.
You still have a movement if you would like to.
Can I move towards the imp type creature?
Absolutely. All right, so you move up towards the imp. You're still probably about 5 feet away. You're like one
Just-
space away.
Just a reminder, Wood Elf movement 35, not
Oh,
30.
35? So, yeah, okay. No, you're right up next. You're right up there. You are right up there then. Okay, so as you move up there, you all of a sudden feel... Okay, come on here. You feel a little bit of wind as something just went right past your shoulder. It felt like something swung at you. And when you turn your head, you see this relatively large, muscled creature. You saw some of these up at the festival running around. You saw, in fact, you've seen all of these creatures up there. But this one, lunging out from the shadows at you, takes a swing with this big, meaty claw with sharp, razor tip points, and just misses you as you run past it. And
Okay.
then it is the imp's turn. The imp, seeing this big, fanged, clawed, angry thing right in front of it, and getting magic shot at it and all that, is none too happy, flies up another 5 feet. It is now just out of normal range. Okay. And launches a firebolt directly down at Oak.
Okay.
But misjudges the angle and shoots it and hits between your feet. Yep.
Oak does that.
The slugs are no more. It is now Oak's turn, and then Dahlia, you're on deck after that.
Oak is gonna take out one of his daggers, and he's going to try and hit one of its wings and lodge it into the wall. So he's in it.
Okay, go for it.
So is that a ranged attack?
Yeah, that would be a thrown dagger, so it would be using your dexterity.
Damn it.
And as you pull your dagger out and throw it, you manage to throw it from the wrong end. That you know how you're supposed to throw the dagger to make the pointy end go in the thing, but you grabbed it wrong, and so you end up missing the imp, and the butt end of the dagger smacks into the wall, and it just bounces off and clatters to the ground.
Well, Oak is just kind of shell-shocked at this and just goes like, well, shit. Better stick to my javelins then. And that's his turn.
All right.
Definitely not a dagger throwing champion.
No bonus actions or anything like that.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope. He's not angry enough.
All right. Dalian, you're up. Rhea, you're on deck after that.
So, can I have Dalian use her movement to go towards Oak and tap his shoulder and whisper to him, "Throw me at the imp"?
Yes. Now, what I will do is, since you didn't use your bonus action, Oak, I will allow you to use your bonus action to combine with Dahlia's action to throw Dahlia at the imp.
Yay.
But I will need from you an athletics check.
Okie dokie.
Oh, not a problem. You get thrown in the right direction and the right height so that you didn't get thrown against the wall. So
this is his one skill. He can yeet people.
That's awesome. All right, so the now, what would be the past tense of yeeted? Yote or yeeted?
Probably.
So you have been yoten directly towards the imp. And what would you like to do?
The moment I have my hands on it, using one of the daggers in my hands, I want to stab it in the back.
Okay, so go ahead and roll an attack.
How do I do that again?
1d20 plus 4 for your dagger.
19.
19. You hit it squarely. Go ahead and roll damage. Now, this is not sneak attack because it is far enough away from your companions. So 1d4 plus 2.
6.
6 damage. You get a good solid hit on this, and it is not happy with you.
Am I still just holding on to this thing, or do I drag it to the ground as I go down?
No, it's surprisingly strong. It is managing to keep you and it aloft, and you are now right in its face.
Hi.
Rhea, you are up, and I can see you are on deck.
Do not hit me.
Alright, I want to cast Eldritch Blast at the imp.
All right, go for it.
The imp!
I mean, sometimes,
I have 6 health!
I will first go. Wait, how much is your max health?
8! I have 6!
Yeah, I'm casting Eldritch Blast. Everything will be
Nothing else I
fine.
need a backup character.
Good.
Oh, thank God.
It will
You,
be fine.
as Dalian is holding on to this imp, and just kind of up in the air with her dagger in its back. Its face is right there next to her head, and all of a sudden, this Rhea, pick a color.
Purple.
This purple bolt of energy slams right into its head, right next to Dahlia, and it knocks its head back, and it shakes its head back and forth, and then stares straight at the 13-year-old caster that just did that.
Yeah. And then I'm gonna cast Healing Light on Dahlia.
Okay.
Sweet.
What's the minimum you can do with that? Yeah.
1.
Okay, so it's only 1d6. So yeah, you
Yeah.
got 3 back, so you're up to full again. You're at your 8.
Sweet.
All right.
Thank you.
So
I thought I was gonna die.
I can see you are up.
Seeing that Rhea showed no regard for Dalian's life,
Even though I just got myself thrown at the damn thing.
I too am going to shoot at the imp.
I literally just risked my life for you people. This is the thanks I
We
get.
didn't ask you to. Oh, your call. Oh, for Pete's sake.
And your crossbow bolt goes wide, hitting surprisingly the same place that Oak's dagger did.
Yeah.
And clattering to the ground next to it. So there's a bolt sitting next to your dagger on the ground there, Oak.
Oak has to resist the urge to go and grab that bolt and bring it back
And
to
fetch
life.
it for I can see. You still have a bonus action and movement.
Sit, Oak. Stay.
That's great.
Alright, you still have a bonus action and movement if you like.
No, I got no bonus action. I'm comfortable where I am,
Okay.
not on the back of an enemy.
Okay. Excellent call. Zoran, before you go, that large muscled creature that took a swing at you now moves out of the shadows up towards you and takes a swing and misses as its large arms try to come down on you. You're just too nimble for it. So now it is your turn.
I will use my staff on the big muscly thing.
All right. As you swing, you make solid contact with it. And that damage, as you hit it, clearly had an impact as it grunts with the force of the blow and kind of doubles over since you smacked it right in the solar plexus. It kind of doubles over, clutching its chest and stomach from where the hit occurred.
And then, did we say it's a bonus action to drink a potion?
Yes, I believe that is what I had called out before.
Alright, then I'll drink my healing potion.
All right. There you go. So, now, the imp
Hmm.
pulls out from behind its back
Oh no.
a spiked chain and swings it overhand to come down on Dahlia.
So, question. Because of her past that I've told you about,
Yep.
can I make it to where she won't even flinch when she gets hit with that?
Well, she doesn't
Because
have
of
to.
how...
She doesn't have to worry because she didn't even get
Okay.
hit.
Okay.
because
Because of how she was
because
raised, she's used
yes.
to that.
Oh no, I would go with that. But Roll20 said thou shalt not hit her, so I did not.
RN Jesus.
Yes. However, it does make an attempt to escape from your grasp. I want you to give me an athletics check if you want to hold on.
Where is that big muscly monster? Where is that under me compared to where I am?
It is actually about 10 feet away from you because it is on the other side of Zoran,
Okay.
who is between you and it.
Then, as it's trying, I'm still gonna roll for it, but as it's shaking me, I'm gonna ask Oak, be prepared to catch me.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm still gonna roll to try and hold on,
Okay.
but as just in case as I'm doing so. How the fuck do I roll this again?
Yours would be 1d20, and I
I'm
don't
sorry,
think you have
guys.
athletics, so it's 1d20 plus 1.
Okay. I got it too.
Okay, so it
Please catch me, Oak.
it shakes you off and then flies up into the upper parts of this cave where the light does not reach, and you can hear it move, and it's moving quick, and it sounds like it is headed for the passageway. Oak, it is now your turn.
Please
Okay.
catch me.
One, I'm gonna try and catch Dahlia.
Okay. That would be your action.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. I'll say give me an athletics check for that. Just to see. Oh yeah, easily catch her. You caught Dahlia, and you still have a bonus action and movement left.
Okay. Well, is it a bonus action to set her down?
I'd give that I'll include that as part of your action.
Okay. So for his bonus action, as he has seen the imp creature drop his new friend, Oak starts to get very mad. He does not rage. He shifts into a more wolf-like form.
Okay.
So he gets furrier, a little taller, like maybe an inch taller, and a muzzle starts to come out of his face, and his canines start to get bigger, and his claws get longer.
Okay.
Oak is a good
Very
boy.
scary.
Parents.
Yes.
Very scary.
Oak is a good boy.
Yes.
Which is why I just throw out the slugs and the imps and stuff and then run away. Because then it gets too scary for me. So, there you go. So that's your bonus action. You can still
And then,
move.
yeah, and then he's gonna listen to where that imp is going and follow it.
Okay. So you're heading towards the cave, the tunnel entrance that brought you in here.
Yes.
Okay. All right. It is now Dalian's turn, and Rhea,
I'm
you
gonna
are
go
on
with Oak.
deck. You're gonna follow Oak. Okay. So
Because I have a bone to pick the imp for dropping me.
okay, you follow Oak, and Oak, do you have dark vision?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So both you can see the imp, but this thing is booking. It's in the kind of pitch black of the tunnel that brought you to this cavern. But it has moved, and you can already see that thing is like 60 feet away already. And still going.
Okay.
I want to grab Oak's arm and point back towards the group because it's probably heading towards the village.
Okay. All right. So far, you really only used your movement. You still really have an action and a bonus action left.
I am. What all can this do again? So I can't use that.
Well, here while you're looking up and deciding, I'm gonna go ahead and move on to Rhea, and then when you decide, I'll come back to you. So
I
Rhea,
think I'm just gonna have talk to Oak and try to get him to go back towards the group because we're not gonna be able to catch up with the imp.
okay, all right. So that'll be your turn then.
Mhm.
Okay. So Rhea, it is now your turn.
What are we calling the creature thing? Just creature thing?
Just this large creature. You don't know. No one's
Eldritch
bothered to
Blast
find out.
to the creature.
Eldritch Blast a creature. Go for it.
It's my answer to everything.
It's a good answer, and you smack it. Not for a lot, but you definitely hit it, and it doesn't like that. All right.
Crap.
I can. You still have a bonus action and movement.
Um, how far away is Oak?
Oak is probably. Well, you see, you never really moved from where you were before.
No, not really.
So Oak is actually now over by you, which is near in the tunnel area. So Oak's probably, I'll say, 5 to 10 feet away at
I'm
most.
running behind Oak.
Okay. Okay.
I was about to say if you were gonna
Protect
heal
me.
him. Oak doesn't need to be healed right now. He's got 3 temporary hit points, so he's good.
No, you protect.
Yeah.
I can see you are up, and Zoran is on deck.
How far away is the large creature?
The large creature from where you're standing, which you were standing kind of a little further back from the group, in the tunnel, it's probably about 30 feet away from where Rhea and Oak and now Dalian are all at, which make it probably about 40 to 50 feet from you.
Okay, and did you say it was running away or trying to?
Not the large creature. The imp
Oh,
was
the imp
flying
was.
away.
Oh, he's
Hey,
flying.
where's the
Okay.
captain in all of this?
He's back at the house.
No, he was down the tunnel.
Oh.
You don't know what happened to him. He's not here.
Okay, I'm going to pull out a ceramic pot from one of my pouches,
Okay.
and I'm going to chuck it at the large thing, and it's a large pot of a greasy, oily substance.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
I want to throw a torch at it.
I don't know if it's flammable. That's up to the DM.
Let's see here. All right, so you're throwing it at the large beastly creature.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and what is your save DC?
That's going to be a dex save of 13.
All right, so as you cast this spell, you create this 10-foot square area right under the creature is what you were going for, or right on it?
Underneath it, because
Okay.
that's the point of the spell.
Yep, right under this creature. Okay. It starts trying to move around as it's trying to get towards Zoran. And as it steps forward, its foot flies out from under it as it slips backwards and lands hard
Nice.
with its back against the ground. Anything else you'd like to do for your turn?
No, that's gonna be it.
Okay. So that is on the ground, and Zoran, you are up.
All right, I will do my standard two-handed staff attack followed by a kick
All
since it's
right.
on the ground.
All right. And you have advantage on these because it is prone and you are within 5 feet. So both attacks hit. And as you do this damage, you know what? Show me what you got.
Show me what you got.
All right. Um, well, I hit it in like the thigh area with my staff, and then I will take a step forward and kick it right in the jumblies.
Okay. So as your staff smacks into...
Say what?
We'll find
Does it
out.
even happen?
We'll find out. As you take your staff and you hit it in the thigh, you actually knock its legs apart, providing that opening to give you that perfect field goal-like kick straight into the crease between its legs. And as your foot connects, this thing seems to like collapse in. Okay? If this thing was male, it no longer is. And if it was female, its uterus is now about the size of a crushed tin can. As you definitely felt things break inside it with the force of your impact. So it goes down. And with that, the cartoon peril is no more. You are out of initiative, as there are nothing left that you can actually see to attack.
Zoran, good job with the cunt punt.
Thank you. No applause, just throw money.
No, that's not. I don't have the money to give. That's from the captain.
Now, I can see. Do you step into the room as well?
If combat is over and
Yes.
there isn't much of a threat, I will.
Yeah, okay. So everyone's either in the room or right at the edge of the tunnel at this point.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yes.
Unshifted. He's normal again.
Okay. And I would like a perception check from everyone.
I want to know where the fuck the captain went.
All right. Anyone that got higher than a 10 notices that the light that is in this chamber is actually coming from a candle that is in like a little niche on the wall. That it doesn't look like it's not like a pretty man-made thing. It looks like it was a jut of rock that was sticking out of the wall, that someone took a candle, allowed the wax to melt a little bit, poured it on that jut, and then stuck the butt of the candle on it, so that as the wax hardened, now the candle is sitting right there providing light. And right next to where that candle is, it's about 5 to 6 feet up, so about head height or so for some of you. At about 2.5 feet, 3 feet up on the wall, just to the right of it, there is a hole that looks to have been chiseled out of the wall. You also see next to that hole, on the ground, leaning against the stone, is a small pickaxe.
How big is the hole?
It's approximately about 10 inches wide, maybe about 8 or 9,
Oh,
you
goes
know, high.
and sticks his head in to see if he can see anything.
Well, you can see that the back of the hole is only about 6 to 8 inches deep as well.
Okay.
So I mean, you can see the whole hole. It's more like a space in the wall that something was there.
Okay.
And
So, the
yes,
people who did see this, can they point it out to those who didn't on the perception check?
they can if they want.
No, Oak just randomly goes and sticks his head in the wall.
That kind of shows me where it's at.
You said there was a stone, right?
Well, the stone it's just part of the wall. It's like an outcropping of the wall, a little bit of the rock, and the candle was basically glued to it with wax, with its own wax.
All right.
So it kind of created a little candle shelf, is all.
Can I take the pickaxe and try to get the stone out?
The one with the candle on it.
Yeah.
It's just a piece of stone. It's it's
rock.
rock.
Oh, it's
it's
not
rock.
like a gem.
No.
Oh, never mind.
No, not a gemstone.
Darn.
Okay. So now there is more that you see that you didn't really notice during the fighting because of the dim light and the fact that you were under attack. But next to this, this little hole in the wall, the pickaxe, the candle, on the ground is what looks like the remains of something. Probably something humanoid, judging by the fact that there are tatters of fabric that look like they could be clothes and a pair of boots that have been chewed up a bit. And its hand, which actually looks almost like the life has been sucked out of it. It's desiccated. But this is definitely something that is recent because the blood is too fresh.
Does
Can
it
I
have
check
any
the
armor?
body?
Okay, one at a time.
Is there any armor on or near this desecrated thing?
No.
Okay.
Can I smell it to see if I recognize the scent?
Smells like dead human.
That makes sense.
Can I check the body for anything magical?
You can sure look. Go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Okay.
All right. As you're searching the body, you move the hand that is outstretched. And that desiccated hand, as you lift it off, there is a small, not very ornate, wooden box. And that wooden box has a little lock on it. That lock has been broken open, possibly by the pickaxe even. And the lid is opened. And Rhea, what you see is that I need a wisdom save.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Is this bad?
You'll find out.
Don't worry, if you don't make it, Oak will hit you on the head.
Okay. You see underneath this thing's hand that it was touching is this stone that is the deepest black you have ever seen. In fact, the black of this stone, as you look at it, is so impossibly void-like. You feel like your very essence is being sucked away. And you have this just desperate need to touch it.
Yeah, I touch it.
Can I grab her and pull her back?
And can I hit her on the head?
Give me,
Very
Dalian.
Let me touch it. Let me touch it.
Dalian, give me a dexterity save. We'll say, and
No.
okay, and Oak, you wanted to bop her on the head.
Yes.
And knock her out?
Still touching it.
Or just knock some sense into her.
Okay, so give me a Just like a straight unarmed attack roll.
Okay.
And when they're done with all this, I'd like to check out the big muscly guy, try to figure out what it was.
Okay. Rhea,
Well, I mean,
as you are reaching for it, Dalian tries to grab your hand away. You slap it away. Oak tries to bop you on the head. You take a step to the side, and I need a second wisdom save from you.
okay.
Your fingers are now mere inches away from this.
Let it happen.
Okay.
Let it draw you into it.
As
Where the fun
as
happens.
you get your hands within an inch of this thing, you hear a voice in your head.
Oh no.
Hey, this could be good.
It's
Voices have been
Never
good.
good.
It's
No, that's not true. Alona spoke to me before.
it's a voice you recognize. You know who this is. She
Is it-
has granted you favor.
Is it Alona?
And she says to you,
Uh,
"Don't, my child. Don't." And you snap out of that feeling instantly. And you know somehow that this person, whatever it was, that is on the ground next to you, they touched this. And whatever happened, somehow that has something to do with all these weird, fiendish creatures showing up. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
Oh, I was gonna ask if I could at least kick the lid shut.
We'll save that for next time. All right. Thank you guys. I hope you guys had fun tonight. I hope this was more engaging than the first one. Tried to make it so.
Oak got to chase stuff, so he's happy.
All right.
I got yeeted.
If you have any, offline, if you guys have any questions where you want to, work on ways to help incorporate your character more, to help engage more, we can do that. And trust me, your times are coming where spotlight is definitely going to be shining on each one of you. So I'm going to do my best to provide that for you. And for anyone out there who's actually watched this, thank you so much for coming. And I hope you enjoyed watching us. I hope our antics were entertaining. We're doing it just because we love the game. But if you can come along for the ride and have a good time, we're more than welcome to come and see us. So, thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. Bye.